This is a Headgum podcast.
Welcome to another brand new episode of All Fantasy Everything, the podcast that fantasy drafts anything and everything from the world of popular culture. On today's episode, we're drafting professions that no longer exist. Our guest today is our friend, comedian, writer, All Fantasy Everything Hall of Famer, Josh Gondelman.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful intro. It's so great to be back with you all.
It's so wonderful to have you. Listeners may note that we are remote on this one, and there is though we have pledged to go in person, and
we're easing in. It's happening.
Well, we're not even easing in. The next week we'll be in person again.
Yeah, we just have a stopgap.
But Josh Gondelman, when the Gondelman comes a ringing, you pick up the phone, baby.
I love that.
Thank you.
You pick up the phone.
What's the word? What's the etymology of Gondelman? Is that the right word?
Yeah. Nailed it.
Yeah.
It is Russian for merchant man. So it is the Jewishest last
name. Hey, I'm here to learn. You know?
You're listening and you're learning. Thank you for being an ally, David.
Josh, are you aware of the Berry Sisters, the musical group?
We talked about this last time I was on, I think.
Did we really? Okay. Did we talk about what their actual last name is?
Is this... Set the mics down.
I don't think so.
Okay. So the Berry Sisters, who have that song Coney Island,
we sang a lot of Yiddish last time.
We sang a lot of Yiddish last time. If we talked about this exact thing, and maybe we did. And
I don't think you told me their last names, their real last names.
So Barry was like a showbiz last name that they took on to hide the fact that they were Jewish, and then proceeded to record exclusively like in Yiddish, which was very silly.
They just wanted people to think they were lightly anti-Semitic.
Yeah. They were like, check out this wacky shtetl language. These
a lot of clarinets, more clarinets than you're going to be used to.
Their real names are Minnie and Clara Bagelman.
That's a cartoon.
It's
the Bagelman
real.
sisters.
The
sounds like it's
Bagelman
on The
sisters.
Simpsons. Like that's somebody
From Bensonhurst. The
said to me-
Bagelman sisters.
The
If someone was
Bagelman
like,
sisters.
here come the Bagelman sisters, I'd be like, I think I have to fight you.
If somebody said, "Here come the Bagelman sisters," I would think they were going to be singing those songs you guys were singing.
For sure.
I'd be like, "That's exactly."
The fucking Bagelman sisters of the Bronx, New York, who would go on to record exclusively in Yiddish. Mein Yiddish Mama. Sean Jordan and David Boyer here as well. My friends and comedians. Sean S. Jordan on Sean something. He's on Blue Sky, but Sean Cougar Melon Jordan is what he is on Instagram.
Hey,
folks.
Hey, bud.
A Bagelman himself in many respects.
When does this come out, Isaac?
None of your business.
You dark? You gone?
I think June 19th, I want to say.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think it is June 19th.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah, because that's the
Juneteenth.
weekend. That's the weekend that I'm there.
The weekend. Tonight I'm in Bellingham with the Sklar brothers. Tomorrow I'm in Everett.
Bellingham when you're there, dude.
And then the next day I'm in Chehalis.
Hell no when you're there, dude.
There it is. That's where the joke's supposed to be.
Come on. Don't tell me where the joke's supposed to be.
It was a gentle reminder.
I'm playing free joke, dude. I'm Ornette Coleman out here, jazz reference.
Oh, that's a jazz.
I'm a bagel sister.
I'm a bagel sister.
Have you heard Ornette Bagelman's music?
Ornette Bagelman free it's a clarinet-based free jazz.
It was Benny Goodman's birthday.
I wonder what his birth name. Hold on. It's not fucking Benny Goodman, I'll tell you that for free.
Benny Bagel
is?
Brother.
Okay, well, Okay, you know what? Now that I think about it, Benny Goodman is actually a pretty goddamn Jewish name.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. But I would have assumed, just coming off Bagelman.
It's no Mini Bagelman. Mini Bagelman sounds like a mascot for pizza bagels that they made up.
Yeah.
Like, there was no actual Mini Bagelman. They just made her up for the bag.
Yeah.
Or like one of those weird Japanese video games that don't quite translate.
Yeah.
Like they're like,
Mario
it was
Brothers
really
2. Yeah, Mario Brothers 2 was based on Mini Bagelman.
They were gonna do different ethnic stereotypes every game. So the first Mario Brothers was Italian, and then Mario Brothers 2 was gonna be Jewish guys, and Mario Brothers 3 was originally supposed to be Dutch. but people really like Mario.
They called him Orange Insurance. That's the best I could do for Dutch just now.
Orange Tulipman? Orange Tulip?
Okay, yeah.
Tulipman? Tulip?
Orange Slave Trader.
That's the one. There we've landed on it.
It was a much grittier game.
It was.
It's like,
No, come on, Sean.
No.
Come on, Sean. Come on in.
no,
Come on in.
No,
The water's warm.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You were
And
gonna say
remember,
with the-
you've got to heighten. You've got to heighten. You
Yeah.
can't stay on the same level.
You were going to say what the Belgian one was
Hey,
called.
I'll
Go
just
on, do it.
I'm just hanging out, enjoying my friends. This is all right. No, come on in.
Jump in the wave pool, dude.
Oh, man.
My friends and I don't know why. It's because I just said wave pool. I
It
think,
was
I think Nick Nampe was one of them.
nothing to do.
We were like doing a college. We drove, I think, to Ashland to do a college visit at Southern Oregon University. And we were staying in a hotel that had
Yes, we're
something.
36.
We were 36 years old. No, we were like we were 18.
Yeah.
And we stayed in a hotel that had something in between a hot tub and a pool. It was like a big,
Oh, no.
round-
That's piss.
it was
A bog?
it was a piss bog. This hotel had a piss bog.
We stayed at an outdoor hotel roadway in with a piss bog.
We slept in a lean-to next to a piss bog. No, it had like a big heated, but it was circular, right? So
Yeah.
it was like a big circular therapeutic pool. And for some reason, the three of us, I can't remember who the third person was, started to figure out that if we all three of us ran
Yeah.
in a circle around this circular thing, that it would start getting the water going like that. And we created a whirlpool in the middle, like a real deal whirlpool, like when you did that thing with like 2-liter bottles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
It'll
that's
take
just,
it'll take you around too. You can coast on it. We used to do
yeah.
that
And
at
then you would
Spud's
like
pool.
pick your feet up. Yeah. And that just, when I said wave pool, it unlocked that memory weirdly.
I don't-
The gentlest circle pit.
The gentlest
I-
circle. We're going to open
I have
up
a-
this pit, everybody.
I have a hot take. I think wave pools suck.
Yeah.
They're annoying for
It's
sure.
never fun in there.
No.
You get in there and you're like, what am I doing in here?
Yep.
It's always too cold or too warm.
Always. There's always a dude with a boogie board, like running into people too.
It's just not
Yeah.
a fun. It's just
Yeah.
not a fun thing.
Trying to really trying to force the wave pool. Where it's like,
It feels
like
like-
you're not having fun, dude.
It's one of the only places the lifeguards like really have to pay attention and be on point. And like
Yeah.
I know they kind of glance at the pool, but in the wave pool, it's like dangerous.
Yeah.
Right, because it's like, what if a swimming pool had a riptide?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exactly. Let's make it hella dangerous. And then you can drink at the one in Sioux Falls. Of course you can. You can bring in your like your twisters or whatever, your twisted teas in the wave pool. It's uncouth.
God,
Whoa.
just glass bottles in the wave pool.
No, they make you put it in plastic. We're not
Okay.
animals, Ian.
Drunk at the water park sounds like a hazard.
It's the 3-2s though, so they'll give you like a big old tasty marg, but it's 3-2 or like rice liquor or whatever. So it is tough.
3-2 beer is bad.
Sake?
Well, it's like rice, not
Soju?
sake, but it's like
Soju?
wine-based liquor, not rice. Sorry, wine-based alcohol. It's like lower
Oh, interesting.
alcohol content. It sucks. It's just sugar.
Good though. You don't want people yakking at a water park, dude, because that's like if somebody barfs in a wave pool, you gotta. Well, they're probably not gonna actually drain the whole wave pool.
No,
but they're
they
gonna
would.
say they are.
They'd pour a bunch of blue dye on it. Be like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, they
Bunch
they
of
just
blue
top
Malibu.
off the water like when you put
Yeah.
too much cream in your coffee.
A kid took a dump in the pool when I was like 10, and they drained the whole. It was huge. They drained the whole thing, kicked us
The
all
dump
out.
or the pool?
They squeezed him, had toothpaste in him.
Or the
Get it all
event.
in there.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, do it. Don't be a coward.
The great pool dump of 89.
Right, this kid barely took a dump at all. We gotta empty the whole thing.
Yeah,
I remember
You're gonna dump. You dump, dude.
Like within a week of that, some kids slipped backwards off the high dive too, and I'm like, it's dangerous in here. I
Yeah.
could always tell with the high dive. I'm like, it's dangerous. We're 7 and we're wet and we're climbing like a story up to jump on. It's dangerous.
Yeah. You wouldn't find me up there. Young Ian Carmel? Absolutely not.
What
On the
about old
diving
Ian
board?
Carmel?
No,
You know what?
Ian, less.
You know what I remember? Ian, do you remember this in the Northwest? There's all those lakes. And if you would go swimming at a lake, there would always be a tower that you could swim out to
Yeah.
and then climb up and jump off. I was doing that a lot.
That feels like a life-saving measure because like otherwise people are jumping off the shore and then hitting like 2 feet of water. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
tower in the middle of the lake is safe. They were still
Yeah.
doing that, I guess, right?
We had those docks that you couldn't get on. There was no ladder, so you had to be able to pull yourself up.
Humiliating. I had
could never- I'm
skinny
just like,
arms as a child.
All my friends are up there like, come on, dude, not helping. They would never help you up. They're like,
I didn't get
did
the
it.
memo to do 100 pull-ups before I came out to the dock.
They all treated it like student loans. Like, I got up here. You got to get up on your own, dude. I'm like, just give me a shot.
You're going to learn. You're going to learn lessons that are going to carry you through the rest of your life.
And then you get up there and you're like, well, I'm not going back to the shore till Monday. I'm here.
Climbing up like a fucking elephant seal. Just like doing weird chest undulations to like try to pull yourself up.
Your
look pretty
chest
cool.
and stomach are all like red from going like over the edge.
Splinters everywhere.
Yeah, like you're spreading cream cheese on a bagel.
I had to-
Razor Ramon.
I sort of invented my own sport. I was like the Boris Diaw of the lake life.
I'll tell you what, I bet Boris Diaw considers himself Boris Diaw of the lake life.
I think he does. I think he does.
It's actually Boris Bagel Boy.
Boris Bagel Boy. Boris Diaw, basketball player, Jean Jordan. French, big dude, slow game.
You heard me say tennis in there and
I
second
did.
guess
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
Didn't you?
He looked like a bigger Tony Parker.
Yeah. I would just, because I was so buoyant, I would just be like, well, fuck you guys. I'm swimming across the entire lake because it wasn't anything for me. I was just floating anyway. So I would just like gently.
Did it ever not work? Did you ever have to get got?
It worked every time, dude. It worked every time. It was great. I love
We
it.
would
Leave
do it.
other children to their deaths in the middle of the lake.
Come along. Yeah, like some sort of German folklore figure. That's the Jew who leads the smaller children across the lake.
He's
I
here.
do think that type of propaganda is what started those wars.
Every day.
They lead your children to the middle of the lake.
They're buoyant bagelmen. They're buoyant.
They float because of all the bagels.
Yeah. They have hollow bones. They eat a lot of bagels. They can float.
And you're heavy from schnitzel. Your children are heavy from schnitzel. They sink like stones.
It's not going to
On a clear night, you can still hear his cries. Come along, children. It's not queer at all.
Not queer in the least. Josh, just to catch you up on AFE lore, as a child, I used
Just
the
so
word
you know,
queer.
it's not a hateful bigot.
I used the word queer the way it was intended in Webster's dictionary.
Curious
Odd.
and curiouser.
Curiouser and curiouser. I would like
You know,
walk
he called that movie Queer and Queerer.
queerer and queerer. I would walk into a room where I knew a pie had been baked, and I was like, it does not smell like pie. How queer. And that's how I talk.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't get away with that with the accent I grew up around. You say that about a pie with a Boston accent, some baker's gonna hate crime you.
What you say?
Even the baker.
Oh, man.
Fucking bake us dozens how many teeth you're gonna have left when I'm done with you. 13 teeth.
Man.
Come here. Hand me that rolling pin. Hand me the rolling pin. I
So
can't
come
do a
see me in
Boston accent.
Chehalis.
Chehalis, Bellingham, and what was the third place?
Bellingham, Chehalis, and Everett.
Everett.
in
dude.
some order. Probably with
Neverett.
the stars.
Neverett, Bellingham, and Chehelno.
Never.
What?
Famous
No,
Filipino comic.
I was thinking
Rick
of
Neverett.
Bellingham.
Shout out to Rex
Belling-
Navaretti.
Rex Neverett.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
David Boreas here, Cool Guy Jokes 87 on Instagram.
I'm home at this point. I'm home for a while in preparation of popping up in a new place soon.
David's moving to Chehalis, dude.
I'm actually moving to Neverett. It's cheaper.
Yeah,
Talk about Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
He's gonna go down a pipe.
he's running for office in all 3 cities, and then
Yeah.
just whatever works.
Wherever he wins. Yeah.
But yeah, I got nothing.
Hedging his bets.
Comptroller of Bellingham, Washington, David Borey.
I think I could win that.
I think you could. That's
You know, I had a boss who ran for comptroller once,
Yeah.
and then he just got killed. I felt so bad. He was like, I love this. Like the day before, he's like, I love this company. Whatever happens, obviously I'm going on to follow my dreams, but I love you guys. Like kind of like an out. And then the next morning, I remember there was this guy named Tom who had a snaggletooth and sang opera music.
Yeah.
And he was like, poor
He's got
Andrew.
a lot of memorable qualities.
Yeah. He was like, poor Andrew was trounced yesterday.
Did he commit treason?
I was like, Tom, what the fuck's going on, dude?
That's an opera word, man.
Yeah.
You should have sung it.
Poor
The
Andrew
comptroller was trounced.
The only time I've ever heard somebody say that in real life.
trounced.
The Kids Bop version of "Fuck the Police" is "Trounce the Comptroller."
Is that what a comptroller is? They're a cop?
No. It's like financial stuff. I think budgetary stuff.
Nothing you need
Oh,
to worry
in the
about.
mix got it bad because I'm 6.
Josh Gondelman is here. Josh Gondelman across platforms. The eponymous, I believe, right? It's not.
yeah.
It's not like Josh Gondelman comedy.
Nope.
69 at gmail.com.
That's right. Yeah, on Instagram.
I thought you said you were a comedian. There's why,
Like
why would
a
it
lot
not
of
be
people do
69?
like Gosh Jondelman or something like that.
Oh,
People
yeah.
said, no, I tried. It's already a name that nobody knows and hears when I say it quietly. So I gotta make it plain.
Josh,
Plain for the people.
plain
I'm with
bagelman,
you,
plain
bro.
bagelman, Blue Sky.
Plain Bagelman at bluesky.gmail.com.
Plain Bagelman.
Yeah.
You have a new special coming out.
I do have a new special coming out
Yeah.
June 27th, 8 p.m. premiere. It's called Positive Reinforcement. It's going to be on YouTube, on the Blonde Medicine YouTube channel, but you'll find it by searching my name and the name of the special. And I'm really excited to share it. I really hope people see it. Shot it like a year ago and finally coming out. I think it looks really nice. My buddy Chris Werner directed it. Put together a whole great team production. I just am really psyched.
How much did the god Dominic Del Bene get his fingers on this thing?
Oh, Dominic Del Bene. The
all
king.
over it?
He's
Love
all
Big
over
Dom.
it.
In
Yeah.
many
Big
ways, the
Dom.
Rudy Van Gelder jazz reference of stand-up comedy. Getting him in, dude.
We got to get into something he doesn't know about to reference music. Me and Sean are big bebop guys.
Bebop is jazz, dude. You're fucked.
Not the way I listen to it. Maybe if you're a pussy.
You're like Lieutenant Dan up on the mast of a ship in a hurricane listening to Charlie Parker.
I thought you were talking about another jazz guy.
Birdland! That's what I say. Into the storm. Birdland!
This hurricane is trouncing me.
And I'm strapped to the mast so I don't go hang out in the jazz club on either side of the river.
Oh,
Real
man.
Odyssey shit. Where, other than that, Real Odyssey hours only, bro.
Charlie Parker is cool, though.
Charlie Parker is cool. He was,
Bird is a good nickname.
Bird is a good nickname.
yeah, Bird is.
Bird's a good ass
Short for
nickname.
Yardbird.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Short for Larry Bird.
Short for Larry Bird, he foretold the coming.
The prophecy.
The prophecy. He was a really interesting, he was like a real polymath kind of guy, Charlie Parker. I'll only talk about him for 10 more seconds. But like just a really interesting dude. Kind of guy who would say trounced. For example.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of a snaggletooth opera man himself. Charlie Parker in many ways.
Tough way to explain someone.
I
It's
love
really,
Snaggletooth Opperman's
if
early
you knew
work.
if you knew the guy, I'm doing him a service that way.
Yeah. All right.
His whole face is a scar.
Imagine what extremely notable worse qualities this guy has. Like Snaggletooth, saying opera, smelled like an open sewer.
It was a weird crew at the call center.
Puked when he talked.
You know, I feel like hello.
Oh, dude, you're barfing again. Stop.
That's why he has to sing. It's like one of those things where it's like he doesn't, some people don't stutter when they sing. He doesn't puke when he sings opera.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
If you had one guess, what kind of hat did he wear every day to work?
Oh, one of those like a Kangol, maybe like a newsboy / Kangol hat.
I'm going
Build-
fedora.
Build beanie.
100%. Sean got it.
Oh, okay. Kangol.
One of those
yeah.
like Boston.
Well, not more like a newsboy than a Kangol.
Oh, okay.
You know
I
what I'm
think
talking
it's- I
about?
think it's- yeah, I
like a
think
guy
it's
from
re-
Boston wears it. John.
Yeah.
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not- it's not-
Scally cap.
Yeah, it's not your Uncle Mark.
A backwards Kangol. Mark L. Jackson.
Singing opera in a Kangol is like a beautiful image.
I don't know.
at the gas station.
I don't know if that's ever been done.
Sonorous Rick
Hold
the
on.
Wizard.
I got to look up if Pavarotti ever wore a Kangol.
Working at the gas station.
Already, I can see him like doing panel on like Carson in a Kangol.
Yeah.
Did you look up Pavarotti Kangol?
I did.
That's a different guy. That's a whole different guy.
A picture of Jason Diamond comes up pretty quick, though. Shout out to Jason Diamond.
Diamond.
Tennis player.
Jason Diamond's rap name is Pavarotti Kangol.
It's fucking, the first row is all AI generated images because we live in a horror era. And then there's LL Cool J.
Sure. The Pavarotti of Kangols.
The Pavarotti of Kangles. And then, like, who's this guy? Half-length Kangol. Stock photos of a guy in a Kangol. And then
Is it my
Jason
Uncle Mark?
Diamond.
I can kind of see it because there was like an era where like Jason Alexander, I feel like, was wearing Kangles.
I think
sure.
it was a lot
I
more
bet.
accessible of a hat for a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a minute, like I feel like around when Jackie Brown dropped, that
Yeah.
like a lot of people could wear Kangles.
Where would
Ernie,
you
like,
even?
is
Where
this
would you
for
go
me?
buy one? Where could you go buy one at the store?
The
I wouldn't
Kangaroo
even know.
store.
But wait,
Sears?
no.
I bet they
Sears.
carried them at Lids during that era.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe that makes.
Damn, you
sense.
get a Kango for $50.
Oh, yeah, you get it.
A real one?
Entry level.
Yeah, real
It's not a Kangoo. It's a Kangol.
Entry level.
Bootleg Kangles.
I got a Kangoo.
Dude, this one's a wallaby.
Ernie Johnson, inside the NBA's Ernie Johnson, that was sitting at courtside at
That's-
the French Open tennis, wearing a Kangol right now.
It's so great.
Did you see that?
I could see that.
No,
Whoa,
it's happening.
I've
They
seen the
have-
picture. Yeah.
They have fur Kangles.
Yeah. Maybe we
Called
should.
a-
Maybe
No,
we
have to
should.
no,
$50.
don't.
We should make Kangols for the Denver show.
Should we all become Kangol guys?
Those
No,
bucket
I
hats
don't.
went like crazy, by the way.
Did they?
Yes.
Well, when you got a
people-
guy like Ian Carmel wearing them on camera, dude.
Sorry to everyone who didn't kill one. They keep hitting me up, and I'm like, no, we made 50, I think.
Okay,
Make sure
you
to
can
pre-order your Kangol.
you can get, and I'm not saying we should. I'm
not saying we
that.
shouldn't either.
I'm not saying that. You can get a bamboo Kangol beret. It's made
Bamboo.
out of bamboo, so it's got a little bit of body to it. Body.
Bamboo Kangol beret.
That was actually the first, yeah.
Yeah, Prince did right to
He laid the groundwork.
edit those lyrics.
Yeah,
He crawled so we could walk.
Actually, it was Apollonia was the one who told him it wasn't working. She's like, it's just not.
She's like,
It's
where
just-
would you find one of those at a secondhand store? Would you ever see a bamboo Kangol beret at a secondhand store?
Nobody's giving that away, Prince.
Prince, people need
Maybe-
to hear this song.
Maybe an estate sale, but definitely not a secondhand store.
Yeah,
You know what's weird? I never thought about the idea that people in his life, they called him Prince.
Yeah, because they did. That's not.
I
I guess I
wasn't
don't know
his-
what I thought they would call him, but
isn't
it's
that his-
weird that they were
also
like,
his- wasn't that
hey,
his first
Prince,
name
you need
for
a
real?
soda? Yeah,
his
his name's
birth name.
Prince.
Yeah,
Prince Nelson?
Nelson, Prince Rogers Nelson, Prince Nelson.
From Minneapolis.
That's right.
Interesting. It's an interesting setup.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of other guys like Prince from Minneapolis.
But there's no place
I
Prince
don't-
A lot
could
of
be
famous
from.
guys.
That's
where,
right. That's right.
Where you'd be like,
That's
well,
right.
of course. You
That's
know,
true, too.
you know.
Yeah.
I guess I'd think of that of any city that he came
Yeah.
from. I'd be like, not a lot of Prince-like fellas.
Even like New Orleans would be weird for like that would be maybe make the most sense just because people come from that. Interesting people come from that city.
He always felt like he was from the future to me.
Yeah.
Totally.
New New York.
New York. After the first one collapsed in the Begelman Wars. In a weird way, it makes sense that, not in a weird way, it makes sense that Andre 3000 comes from Atlanta.
Totally.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
as
it does.
futuristic as he was.
The whole thing makes sense.
What about Missy being from Virginia?
But you got to think about who else is from
Yeah,
that,
that's true.
So that's
that
the opposite
10-mile
of Prince.
radius. Is
Right, 'cause there's
Virginia
a-
Beach?
Well, because you're like, oh, there are a lot of people that are collaboratively like Missy Elliott
Yeah.
from Virginia Beach.
It's
like
like
you were saying.
Timbaland and
true.
Pharrell
Yeah.
and all those people.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So you're like, I
It's-
guess that's what Virginia Beach is like.
It's like Prince and who else is from the guy who does the Lake
Ashton
Wobegon?
Kutcher or something? Or like
No, he's
Sean
from,
William
like,
Scott.
Iowa,
one of-
I think.
Sean William Scott or like one of the, Josh Hartnett. One of them's from Minneapolis.
Well,
Lifter Puller.
Lifter
Lifter
Puller.
Fuller, Dillinger 4.
Minneapolis had
Atmosphere.
like an amazing soul scene, like in the 50s and 60s.
Well, you know who else is from there is Morris Day in the Time, and that's another guy.
There
So
we
you're
go.
right. There are
yeah.
a bunch of other guys like Prince from there.
That is
Yeah,
true.
that's another guy where you're like, I don't know how that happened.
Lizzo and Bob Dylan are both from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
That's true.
In the Dillinger Four. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, I guess?
Oh man, they're cool because they wore the matching suits all the time.
Yeah, I like that.
Lizzo and Bob Dylan should have done more of that.
They should have done matching suits. Okay,
know-
Jimmy
you know
Jam's
who-
from Minneapolis. Terry Lewis
know
is
who's-
from Omaha.
You know who's one who doesn't make sense? Babyface is from Indianapolis.
That's weird.
That was-
Indianapolis has like a weird roster of people. Because it's
Besides
like
Babyface?
it's Babyface, Mike Epps, John Cougar Mellencamp.
How
like,
did you know
That's
that?
a good-
You knew that? You
that is
knew
a good-
that?
Friend of the
I-
podcast, Roxanne Gay, right?
Crazy.
Is she
Roxanne
from
Gay,
Indianapolis?
She's
Yeah.
from Indianapolis?
That is a good roster. That's a good
Yeah.
lineup. That's
Yeah.
a good lineup.
I only know the Epps thing because he's been sitting courtside at Pacers games.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
NBA
I
Finals.
did
did
know
know
that
that special
about-
was called Indiana Mike.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also,
yeah.
didn't he buy his block? I think he bought his block and another block in
Really?
Indianapolis. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It'd be way less cool if I did that.
Speaking of
Beaverton.
which, off mic.
Prince and the Revolution versus Morris Day and the Time.
Did you know Morris Day in the Time had you know how you have like Nelly had the St. Lunatics?
Yeah.
Morris Day in the Times was Process and the Do-Rags.
Is that real?
Yeah, look it up.
Damn.
But that's just a whole, like, Nelly was a guy. And he
Sean,
had
we-
this- like, Morris Day already has the time.
Sean,
yeah. A whole other
There's
thing.
another.
My
Sean,
eyes
we
roll
gotta-
back
it's
in
like-
my head.
That's like Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band and 10,000 Maniacs.
Unfortunately, I mean, Sean, we have to change our improv group's name, dude. Process and the Do-Rags is taken.
Well, there's still Pavarotti Kangol.
Yeah, that's
Or
true.
Kangol Pavarotti.
Well, I got to hit Jason Diamond up about that.
That's right.
Also, if you look them up,
it's-
they look just like what you think they look like.
Process and the
Featuring do-rags for sure.
No do-rags, actually.
What? They don't look anything like that
Josh,
picture.
Josh is pissed.
Well, they got waves, though. I don't know. I'm too white to be
There's-
saying, but they
there's
got
do-rags
waves,
somewhere.
though. Like,
Isaac, isolate that.
I say, take out me saying, but they got waves, though.
You already said it 3 times
And
now.
then use it as an endorsement for a wave pool.
Whoa, what
Okay,
if
there
you
we
came
go.
out?
I'll write a commercial.
What if
For a
that's how
wave
you
pool?
go out of the game? Is you just make a do-rag, like how Bow Wow has those do-rags,
Those were
but they're
so
for
long.
Jewish guys. I'm not gonna say what the
It's,
name would
it's
be.
a yarmulke that's also a do-rag.
You have to unwrap the yarmulke.
Called the Hebrew rag. Yeah.
Kids in day school are doing wave checks.
The Hebrew.
It's just a bunch of kids. And the thing, and
Over
he
the
takes
pants?
it off. Yeah, and he takes it off, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Man, those pants are spinning.
My fucking rabbi is up my ass right now. My name's Ian Carmel, and I'm Amari Stoudemire. And we have an interest. And we like to talk to you.
It took me embarrassingly long to realize you were doing 2 different guys.
Yeah, I
We'd
was
like to talk
confused.
to you about an exciting investment opportunity.
Hey, sharks.
You're both sitting in wine baths. You brought to the set of Shark Tank.
Separate wine bags, like a Cialis commercial.
His side is in his wine baths.
My name is Ian Carmel. I have nothing to promote but world peace. Watch.
Meta
You can
world
watch my
peace.
special, but nothing but to promote. What was this? Panda?
What?
Miriam Pandaman.
Your
Meta
special?
World Peace had a panda base.
Oh, I was thinking of your special, Comfort Beyond God's Foreskin. I thought you
Comfort
forgot the
Beyond
name.
God's Foreskin. On YouTube.
That was like what a 5-year-old.
I thought it was
funny.
called Skin Before God for Comfort.
That's what it's Skin Before God for Comfort. My old special, Process and the Do-Rags. I'm changing the name.
Put your skin before God, son.
That's never follows an act that's a good act.
No.
Nobody's doing anything good after they say that.
That's right.
Don't tell.
You're cutting off your own head with an axe.
Anyway.
Yeah, that shit is bleak.
Watch my special. above now it's sitting pretty at 105,000 views on YouTube. Pretty fun.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Hell
It's great
yeah.
about it. Thank you, Josh. I'm very excited to watch yours.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. Very, very gentle.
So we could use a little gentle.
I've been recommending all your stuff to people as like, because I feel like people ask sometimes like, what's good comedy? Like I see what comes up, what's kind of being thrown at me. And it's like all you get, like David's special.
Oh,
I thought the way it
thank
was
you,
shot was
man.
so fucking dope. And like in the, like from above and stuff, it was great. And Ian's so wonderful
Birth
and
of a
funny.
Nation.
Yes, Birth of a Nation. And Sean's most recent album is really wonderful. It's just
Yeah,
like,
everybody
man,
loves Boy
you guys are
Mom.
so funny.
Boy Mom. Sean's album, Boy Mom. Girl Dad, dude. Sean's album, Girl Dad.
Next one, Squirrel Dad.
Girl Dad, dude.
Squirrel Dad Beyond God's Control.
You should
Squirrel
name
Dad
it
of a Nation.
Squirrel Dad of a Nation Beyond God's Control.
Squirrel Dad of a Nation.
It takes a nation of squirrels to hold us down.
Squirrel Dad of a Nation. God can't touch me. God doesn't even know where I am.
Only God can touch me. That sounds like a fucking like a pamphlet for children about not jacking off.
Only God can touch me now.
God can touch me.
Oh,
It's just screaming that in prison.
I'm Tupac, and I'm here to discuss abstinence-only education. Only God can touch me.
That's why I got this cross tattooed on my back, and only God can touch me in Old English. and my whole spine, like an outline of my spine tattooed. Touch me now.
You see that guy at the beach, and you're like, "Can I ask him, or will he kill me?"
don't.
Did it hurt?
When you
Well,
fell,
when
when
God-
you fell out of heaven? What?
Crazy he had
When
it
God,
right.
when God and you broke up and kicked you out of heaven.
Was he rough?
Isn't that what happened with the devil?
Yeah.
Yeah, they broke up.
Messy breakup.
Messy breakup.
Messy breakup.
And
I
have you
love the
seen The
idea of-
Devil's Place? It is gnarly.
No, it's bad, dude. It's
I love
like,
the idea of God referring to the devil as my ex.
you know what he's up to down there.
My ex is a real bitch.
And by the way, I think I hate when people say that. Like I do hate when people say like, "Oh, my ex is crazy." My ex is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
He watches all my Instagram stories
yeah,
still.
I see. He doesn't know
And
you can
harvests
see.
the darkness of extinguished souls.
He lives in a lake of screams. Yeah. Okay. He's actually crazy. We are gathered here today not only to talk about the Lake of Screams, but also to fantasy draft professions that no longer exist.
Now, okay.
Okay.
Do they have to be completely eradicated?
I
Or can
think
it-
so.
Like, what if you Googled it and there's a couple
I think
that are in like New York?
I think I know exactly what you're gonna pick.
Talking
What
about
if-
Bagelman?
A job
I think-
offer.
So
What
here's
if-
a very Jewish New York one that's like door-to-door seltzer delivery, and one guy still does it. But I think you can claim it still.
But he doesn't get
Is
paid. He just
is he
does
one of
it.
those guys who doesn't know what year it is, though? Like, he
wearing
just
a-
lives
he's wearing
so
a
deep
duster.
in Brooklyn. He's like, "There's a war on."
When are the boys coming home? Factories are getting dusty.
Oh,
I
man.
think
Yeah.
if it exists at all, I think it's out of play, dude.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
I th-
okay. Then I have
Play
some
hard.
that I don't even know if they had names, but I named them.
I'm excited for all
Okay.
this.
Woolly Mammoth Hunter? I think like. Well,
We'll
see.
find out, won't we?
We'll find out.
Oh man.
Now, the way we determine the order of this draft is through a rollicking game of rock, paper, scissors played between the three of you, and we throw one shoot. Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Come on.
Oh, cats. Here we go again.
Stalemate.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh,
Oh,
boys.
Sean wins. A natural
Rockzilla.
victory. Scissors against
Rockzilla.
two paper. Sean is the winner. It is incumbent upon you to determine the order of today's draft. Before you do that, I will remind you, it is a serpentine draft.
And what is that?
That's a great question.
It's like if you tell a cake decorator to put an uncoiled snake on your cake.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Very literally about a snake. I mean, it has to be pretty long.
I'm running out. Yeah, well, it's a long. What, have you never had a birthday party?
Did you put a snake on your daughter's cake for her 4th birthday?
We got our basketball court size cake.
Yeah.
She doesn't like cake. We
Your
got
daughter?
it for her anyways.
Does she like sweets at all?
She likes I think she's gonna like angel food cake. She doesn't like frosting. She likes gummies, but she also likes those confetti Entenmann's, those little Entenmann's cupcakes. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, zebra cakes? No.
No, the little they're
Zingers?
like
No.
little single muffins almost.
Oh yeah, I know.
She loves those.
Yeah.
Birthday cake.
I love the idea of an unspooled snake on a birthday cake because it makes me think of a birthday cake shaped like a party sub. Which why
Yeah.
don't we?
Oh,
sheet
that's
cakes,
a good
but no-
question.
A long cake? Yeah.
No 6 foot long party cake.
Man, Isaac cut out that amazing idea. We're
Yeah.
gonna take that to the bank.
That's our out.
Nobody gets
That's
their hands
our
on that.
Between
you
that
imagine
and the
if somebody
do-rag yarmulke, we're like done.
Do-rag.
Happy retirement, boys.
We're done with comedy.
Legitimately can't believe that in like 2002 there wasn't a rapper named Do-Rag Yarmulke. Like Matisyahu was so close to
He
being
was so
Do-Rag Yarmulke.
close. Where is he now?
He's still
around.
going. He's like at the Roseland every year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like I saw him. I did. I saw him in concert.
I remember trying to show a woman that music.
Was her name Rachel?
No, I just
Did
They're
she
not
run
fucking
out?
work.
Did she run out like the Kool-Aid Man as soon as
Like-
you put it on?
like it was like that. It was like that "Got No Water" song, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I can't even explain this.
I can explain it to a bunch of dudes.
Is great too.
Me and the dudes in the living room got it, but as soon as I'm talking to a girl, I don't know what it means.
I did a music festival in Miami that Matisyahu
Nice.
was supposed to headline.
That's
And
one of the
this-
two places that would happen.
Yep. The whole second day got rained out. So Matisyahu never performed and all the checks bounced.
That's
Damn.
so funny. I would love to know the guys in their board, and they were like, all right, Matisyahu,
Mhm.
Josh Gondelman.
Yep.
Honestly, the lineup, who cares about the rest?
That's right.
We got it.
Name? I'm
As
trying to
long as
figure
it
out who
doesn't
else would
rain.
be.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Matt Bronger was there.
Okay, there we go.
Wyatt Cenac was there.
Yeah, of course.
Ron
the
yeah.
Funches,
fuck?
James Adomian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ron, I think it was Ron that went. It was like the last night, and there was nothing happening because it was gonna rain so much, and a bunch of us were just hanging out. And Ron was like, "You better cash those checks tonight, man, because they will not be good tomorrow."
I feel like it's the same booker who was like, you know who I'll book for the Marines? Josh
Oh my
Gondelman,
god!
David Bory, and Finesse Mitchell. You remember that?
The real big three.
It was the weirdest road gigs in the world. We just did 3 like military bases.
All around Virginia, and they got. I remember them getting progressively worse. Too.
Yeah. The last one, a kid got thrown out of the Marines. Remember? Yeah. It was,
we bombed
really-
so hard, a guy got kicked out of the army.
yeah, it was pretty fucking brutal.
They're like, you can't just watch people bomb like this and do nothing.
Oh man,
What
a great episode! I'm done,
basically,
boys.
I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I think we
You know,
got
just
it.
I
several.
mean, it's only going to get worse when I start saying my made-up jobs. This was hard for me. You guys had an easy time doing this? This is toughie. This is tough.
There's like a
I've got a
ton of
few.
lists too.
Oh,
like,
I
if you just
didn't
go-
even look
there's-
this one up.
Are we doing... All right. Whatever. You guys will like me afterwards regardless, right? Tell me you will.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's funnier if I blow it, isn't it? Look at my arm. Doesn't that look funny?
What are you
All right, let's
doing?
Going back
That's how
on
everyone
5-year-old.
under 30
I'm
takes
deflecting.
selfies.
I'm
Yeah.
deflecting.
That's how everyone under 30 takes selfies. They do the 0.5 and it's all arm.
It's all on. Yeah. All right, he's young, dude. Sean's a young guy. Sean, what is the order of today's rap? Basically, it means fourth and first and first thing.
Ian,
Oh, Ian Carmel going first?
Josh,
Okay.
myself, David.
Oh, hot corner.
You guys both have a hot corner. I said use guys.
You did
Yeah,
both
say
have a
use
hot
guys.
corner.
But you said it
Are you a
smooth.
seltzerman? Seltzer delivery
I
fella?
did just accidentally
I'm
say
done.
use guys. I've always wondered how it happens. I just did it.
I've always wondered how you've been racking your brain out to get it in there. You just
How
had
did
to
it
let go.
feel?
Pretty dope.
Yeah, it didn't sound crazy.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have said anything
As
if
long
you didn't
as you
say
don't
anything.
force it, it sounds, that sucks. I'm going to force it for the rest of the day, I think, because I just
Yeah,
did
prob- You're gonna come in and Laura and Max. You guys want some
you
dinner?
guys, what do you guys want, some pizza?
You just want a confetti cupcake.
I just beat the
have to
shit
quit
out
the
of the neighbor.
podcast. You're different now.
Do you ever say stuff and like your significant other it can tell like, oh, he's been podcasting?
If she hears me talking to you guys on the phone, if I say peace, that's a big one. Like, all right, peace. I'll get off the phone. She's like, all right, peace. She'll do that. And I'm like, I could talk to you like that if you want. Do you want me to talk to you like that? And every time she's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, I'll keep saying goodbye to you.
I
thought you meant like you could pick her up on her things that she says.
No, it's like, do you want me to,
No, he literally meant I could
be like, all right, bro, what's up?
Yeah.
Give me peace across the board.
Yeah.
World peace.
I could be the real me. You want to talk to who you married?
Can I say this before we get off the peace thing?
Yeah.
I enjoy the sentiment, but like it was always the corniest people who would say peace in the Middle East. You ever?
Oh,
For sure.
Yeah. Peace
It's
in
like,
the Middle
yes,
East.
I want it that known.
Sure.
This isn't how we get there.
We didn't. Me picking you up to go to the movies and ending that phone call, that's not what's going to make that happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a different version of the guy we talked about last time I was here, which is the female pronouns for God guy.
Yeah.
That's a good guy, though.
Exactly.
That's a good guy.
She's
dude.
always watching, Josh. You
Yeah.
gotta,
That's right. That's exactly it.
You don't want to end
Comfort
up
was-
with her ex downstairs, I'll tell you that.
The comfort was
She is
beyond
a bitch.
her foreskin. We're going to get to my first pick. Weirdly.
How's that feel?
I hate it. I don't like it one bit.
You're still in the hot corner.
Still a hot corner. It's a less hot corner, but
A
it's hot
warm
later.
corner?
Warm corner. Warm
Go
corners.
sit in the warm corner with your bamboo.
corn.
We'll be
Kangal.
we'll be right back with more warm corn right after this break. And we're back. Welcome back to Warm Corn on All Fantasy Everything.
She rubs the niblets on her skin,
Oh,
or else she gets the cob again.
oh.
Blow the corn. Blow the corn.
Oh, niblets. I thought niblets was as bad as it got, and then I heard cob in that voice.
Yeah, it's bad.
Ooh.
I regret it. People are turning off this podcast.
No,
Somebody
they're not.
just crashed. Somebody just crashed their car.
On purpose.
They got in their car and crashed it.
Some dude just drove his Ducati off a bridge. A lot of guys listening on Ducatis.
We're big in the Ducati. We're big in the, if you
What
like.
if somebody pulled up at a stoplight at a Ducati and it was just, welcome. Just smoking a cigar.
Blasting it.
What do you think the median car of an All Fantasy Everything listener
Subaru
is?
Outback.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to
Corolla.
say one of the newer Kias.
Oh, well, I drive.
I know
those
you
guys.
have one.
Yeah.
But I think
Seminole.
it's like, it's just like very reasonable, but
Yeah.
a little flash.
Yeah. Hit us up in the comments. What kind of, are you a Kia driver? Are you more of a Subaru or a
Smash
third
and
car?
like, bro. Smash and like.
Also,
Get the-
Kia, if you want to bless me and Sean, you could have the whole crew.
Bro.
What is Smash and Like? Is that about crashing cars?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying out album names.
Smash and like.
If you guys giggle, I write it down.
If you have the craziest car, if you think you have the least AFE car, do hit us up.
One of you's driving
Yeah.
a Batmobile, I bet.
So
I
somebody's
think-
got something crazy.
Somebody
got,
probably.
I bet there's someone listening that has an ice cream truck.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
50 licks.
Yeah.
Shout out 50 licks. They catered the wedding.
Oh
They-
yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I
I
bet
don't,
you
think they, I don't
somebody.
think it's their getting around town car, but they got one.
I'm talking about how do you go to Safeway or whatever Kroger
I
branded
bet somebody bought that El Camino. Sean, me and Sean were gonna go halves on.
could have been
Man.
used guys.
Also, they're coming out with a new El Camino.
Are they?
I saw it on Instagram.
An EV.
It's an EV
Is
Camino?
No, I don't know. Electric hot tub. Is that a good name for an album?
Yeah.
Are you back? That's my question is, are you back?
Oh, we're back. Yeah, but welcome back to All Fantasy Everything.
Welcome back.
We've been back. It's time for my first pick in the professions that no longer exist. And I think I got to go with a clear number one. Because when you see this one in a movie or whatever, you're like, we're in the past right now. Because people don't do this anymore. It looked like one of the most stressful jobs you could have, by the way. I'm taking switchboard operator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
but you could smoke cigs.
You could smoke cigs. You could really rip cigs.
Yeah,
I
you
never-
You take the edge off.
Yeah.
It's a hole. They're all just holes. How do you know where Mr. Johnson, which hole does he live in? I don't.
Isaac?
Don't say which
Isaac,
hole does
can you
Mr. Johnson
answer?
live in anymore.
You don't
Don't
want to
ever
know.
say-
You don't
I
want to
would
know.
prank call in the
Dude, only
20s.
God can touch me.
You don't want to know the answer.
I would always prank call during the Dust Bowl. I'd be like, hey, where does Mr. Johnson live? Which hole does Mr. Johnson live in?
You're doing pranks for the switchboard operator.
Hey, I'm out of dust.
Oh man.
Everything was so physical. Those phones that you had to pick the thing off the thing and then do the rotary.
yeah.
I remember having one of those when I was a little kid because they were still like,
Us too.
yeah, they were,
Dial one.
Yeah,
it took forever to call. So you had to really want to talk to somebody.
Sometimes I'd get impatient and I'd let my finger off the 8 and it was a 7 and I'd have to start again.
You just rip the phone out of the wall. Sorry, Grandma, you don't have a phone anymore.
Now
Back when you had to
call-
talk on the phone in the kitchen.
Yeah. You could walk into one other room. You could get to an adjacent room. If you saw that wire tight pulled around the door, like
and you
a door
gotta get
frame.
it underneath the door so you don't pinch it in the thing.
Yeah. People probably died running into a room with a taut phone cord there, just tripping it, just beefing it, dude. I bet
Clothesline
that
like
was,
Razor Ramon got their hands on you.
Yeah, yuck. Like that. I bet that's a cause of death. If we were drafting causes of death that no longer exist, there's one, dude.
Phone cord.
Phone cord.
Decapitation.
Phone cord. Another one stepped on by a woolly mammoth. There's 2. You want a third option? Fucking
No.
That's more
No, I
important.
don't.
Cut the check, dude.
Hey, is it true woolly mammoths weren't that big like they said?
Willie Mammoth is a jazz guy, actually. I'm sure
Jazz-
Ian
jazz
was about
reference.
to say it.
Jazz reference.
Solid 250 actually.
Yeah, he was
Born
big,
Benny
dude.
Goodman, but changed it to Willie Mammoth.
Him and Cannonball Adderley had a duos record that was really good. Real
That's
guy.
one of the coolest names that's ever been.
It's
Cannonball Adderley.
The greatest. Cannonball Adderley, get out of town. That and Potato Valdez, dude. 2 guys, real.
I don't know Potato Valdez.
Potato Valdez was bongos, congas.
He was
Potato
a drum
Valdez.
guy.
His original nickname was Pato Valdez because people called him like the duck. And he got to America and people were like, Potato? You got it. They call him Potato.
At Ellis Island, they gave him a new jazz nickname.
not if you want a bongo in New York City, buddy.
Play a lick, we'll give you a name.
I don't know, Potato.
Brief period during the Roaring 20s, all immigrants were given a new jazz name.
Hey, where does Bongo Nelson live? Which hole does Bongo Nelson live in?
I don't like that either. It's better than Mr. Johnson, though. Switchboard operator. You just had to repeat the same phrase over and over again. I don't know. Potato Valdez, thank you for calling. Right away. Potato Valdez, thank you for calling.
So
right
you
away.
always
Potato
have
Valdez.
to call. So back in the day, you always had to call the switchboard, tell them who you wanted to get, and they would connect you.
I don't know.
You couldn't just call someone.
I don't know.
Okay. Because that's what, or was it like information? If you're like, hey, how do I get this person?
Yeah, did you not need phone numbers? You would call the switchboard operator and they would put you through.
You watch like Boardwalk Empire and they just pick the phone up and there's no dial or anything. It's just one of those phones. And they had 2. It'd be like the one on the ear and the one in the mouth.
Well, the mouthpiece.
Wait, everything went on like tin can rules.
Yeah.
The one in the ear and the one in the mouth was what I was thinking of because we had the regular rotary phone, but we didn't go ear and mouth. Which is so funny that my reference point for that is like the beginning of Mary Poppins.
Yeah. Well, when you find which hole Mr. Johnson lives in, you get one in the ear and the mouth.
Got a third one for your.
I don't like it. I don't like that I got involved.
You don't want to get mixed up in Sean's pranks.
My dirty little games.
I don't know what these rules
foolish
were.
games are tearing us apart.
My dirty little sexual games.
Like and subscribe on YouTube. Oh, by the way,
Smash the like, bro.
We never said this when we were doing the video, but we are fully on. We're fully on YouTube now. Like you can watch.
Oh yeah.
The previous 4 episodes and then the following episodes in perpetuity. And this one. This is also going to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
But you can just watch us goofing around, dude. Carrying on, being silly on YouTube.
You can see how hard we laugh in real life.
When my grandfather or great-grandfather came to America.
When he started his YouTube channel.
Invented YouTube.
They changed his name to Big Perpetuity. Because he could circle breathe like Kenny G.
Is that what's... I thought Tenacious D made that up. Kenny G could do that?
Kenny G could do it. And he still does it.
That's awesome.
You thought
That's how he can
Tenacious
play for
D
so long.
made up
He's got
circular
that song.
breathing?
Well, Jack Black's got that song where he's like, I'm always fucking singing.
Yeah.
And I'm always fucking...
Inward singing. Sorry, I saw a ghost.
Circular breathing. Let me see who did invent it. Potato Valdez.
He stole it from Perpetuity Gondelman.
Yeah. Don't bring it up at the family reunion.
Oh yeah, he gets going. He
Yeah,
thinks he made it
switchboard.
up. It was really potato, obviously.
Dude, Kenny G in 97 held a singular saxophone note for 45 minutes, 47 seconds. And then in February 2000, Van Birchfield beat him by 2 whole minutes.
You know, he also stole Kenny G's high school girlfriend.
Van
Guys
Birchfield?
had it out for him forever. Yeah, he hates his guts. Hates his guts.
But
I've never heard of that guy until now.
Van Birchfield?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get deep into the Van Birchfield catalog.
Did you ever watch that Kenny G documentary?
Yeah,
It was really interesting.
it was good. Yeah. He is aware that people hate him.
Yeah. He knows
What's
what it
the
is.
hate for? You know, where you're like, why? Because he's
That's
really good at something?
It felt like such a 90s meme thing, right?
Yeah,
I know.
Like before there was internet memes, it was just like everyone you knew would be like, fuck Kenny G though, right? And everyone's
Right.
like, I guess.
Yes,
Every-
yeah.
Every horrible comedian, I bet.
Yeah.
That
I
was
don't
like
even
the
know any
punchline.
Kenny G songs.
It's
I don't think he's got I think they're more vibes. Like the song, they're not like hits, are they? Well, he doesn't have like radio songs, did he? It was
He's got
just like
a couple of
mood. Did he really?
Yeah, he was getting like on adult contemporary radio for sure. Kenneth
His
Kenneth.
Wikipedia says he's recorded Chinese songs, which,
Oh, he's big
Ha-
in China.
how do you do that on the saxophone?
The Chinese saxophone. You've never done that? Go find yourself.
You just give it hand jobs?
Chinese saxophone.
Go have yourself a Canadian power thrust or whatever it's called.
I don't even think that was recorded.
Do a Chinese saxophone.
Listeners, if you've ever heard the phrase Canadian doubles to refer to any 2-on-1 competition, please confirm that I didn't
No,
just
you
hallucinate
meant a
that.
three-way sex.
Well, I was referring to 3-way sex, but it was like a couple,
okay,
one person dating a couple.
David
But I
goes-
was using it to refer. I was using a phrase that already exists.
Hit us
Probably
up in the
famous.
YouTube comments. Let us know if you've heard of Chinese saxophone or Canadian
Canadian doubles.
Canadian doubles.
Send a picture of your Chinese saxophone and we're
Don't
ready.
do that.
Send it
Do
to
not do
David's
that.
DMs. Hit David in the inbox.
I think people are like, well, whatever. People can feel however they want about Kenny G, but real jazz guys like Ian Carmel.
That's what they said in New Orleans. I heard whispering. We walked by. They're like, there's that jazz guy, Ian.
That real jazz guy, Ian Carmel.
He knows Candyman.
My
Candyman.
wife, I don't think anyone's gonna say this, but I was talking about the draft with my wife Maris before this, and she suggested Candyman, and I was like, I think they still have those. They just don't like advertise it the same way.
It's
Right.
on
You know
my middle list. I have a
you know
middle
what's
list
funny?
and Candyman
you
was
don't
on
have
there.
a list.
When you guys say Candyman, I think of that song where they're like, Candyman, tell him the truth.
That
We'll
guy's not
still
around
end
anymore.
up knocking the boots.
And that's Gene Wilder, right?
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm taking Cameo for my second pick. I'm just doing 2 in a row. That guy's
You
on
just
around.
want you're living
That
your
guy
own
can't be around. He couldn't have made that last. He
The
could not have
website
made
just
that
took him out of the game. His SEO is fucking atrocious now.
Josh, did you know that there's other Cameo songs other than the one we all know?
Word up. Or
Word
is Candy the one that everybody knows? I don't know.
I think it's
I
Word
know
Up.
Word Up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the only recording artist that has one song ever. It's me.
I don't think so.
That can't be true.
It's probably not, but it's fun to say.
Word
If
up.
anyone here wants to go on a fun YouTube rabbit hole, just look up Cameo music videos because I hadn't
Oh
seen.
yeah, you had your mind blown.
I had my mind blown to the
It's a
point where I
lot.
after you guys were like hanging out in the kitchen and I went back to the TV and I was like, what else? What are some other Cameo related things I can see?
You moved into the kitchen like, geez. I think this party belongs in that tiny little kitchen.
Now people hear Cameo. It's a shame what's happened. Now people just think getting a happy birthday video from Kevin from The Office.
Yeah. No, it didn't used to be that. It used to be a guy wearing a codpiece on all of the cocaine available in his city. Singing like a cartoon cat.
You know, he was like Jay-Z. He never wrote anything down. He just heard that. Yeah, he just heard that beat and was like, "Yes, I know." He's like, no, let it play. Let it play.
He's like the music equivalent of something that's like so spicy you can't stop eating it. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, what? I have another one.
That music makes me feel like the middle of sex, where you really lose yourself in it, and you're just You're just there.
Afterwards, you're kind of embarrassed. You're like, was I listening to Cameo?
Sorry.
That's what it feels
I left my body for a while.
Sorry about that. I did too much with your ear, and that's on me.
Feels real nice. Word up! That was a crazy Cameo impression, Sean.
Right in the middle. I didn't even finish.
It sounded like Roseanne yelling word up a little bit.
I would pay $1,000 to watch Roseanne cover Cameo songs.
It's
Feels real nice.
Gosh, Gondelman, it is time for your first pick.
All right. I feel like this one might get snatched up. I got a deep list, but number one pick, I'm going bootlegger.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Damn it. Yeah.
I think people still make moonshine illegally, though.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I
had
don't think
some.
it's considered bootlegging, right? At that point?
I don't think so. I
Yeah,
don't think
what makes
you're
it bootlegging?
driving
I
it?
Yeah, it's like the distribution network.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause
driving
that's
it
how
from like New
NASCAR
York
started?
to Tennessee or whatever. Yeah.
That is
I don't know
the
that.
Kennedys.
I
It is.
learned that. I learned that from Talladega Nights. I'm sorry, I wanted to sound cool for you guys.
I think it's probably true, though.
I think I've
They,
always
like the
heard.
bootleggers would soup up their engines so they could beat the
Mhm.
cops. But once again, heard that in a Will Ferrell
Give it
movie.
a few extra cranks. However, whenever you see those cars, you're like, how did you outrun any? I could walk
That's because
faster
that's
than
what the
those
cops
cars.
had, too.
Yeah, but couldn't you just like shoot? I don't know. They had guns, right? Couldn't you just see that car and just start shooting?
Was there a time where horses were faster than cars for a while
For
I
sure.
bet.
in the beginning?
Oh, it must have been so embarrassing to have a car back in those days.
You're just, yeah, well, this cost me $100. That horse was free, so fuck you.
I bet you there were a lot of dudes who tried to hold on who felt really bad at the end.
Yeah.
To
Like
horses?
they had to get a car and they're like, it's not even reasonable.
Yeah. Nice. It's just a fad. You
Yeah.
fucking idiot. You're going to be crawling back to your horse in a
They're
year
like-
and a half.
Yeah, you know, take that
Dudes who wear
Zeppelin to the
meta
grocery store
glasses.
too.
Yeah. I'm surprised that there's not people like bootlegging like Four Loko. Like, is there
Yeah.
a original recipe Four Loko bootlegger?
I think it went into like clothes and textiles and stuff,
Bootlegging? Yeah,
as we've learned
schmata
from the
business.
tariffs, right?
And
Yeah.
just other drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. They got into harder stuff.
I think probably easier to transport many drugs than booze because the volume of what it takes to like
Yeah.
have a party's worth of booze even
Yeah.
is so much compared to like one guy walks around with an entire party of cocaine in his pocket.
Yeah. He's not.
Yeah,
his name's
that's
Isaac
true.
Lee. He's our producer.
You can't like boof liquor and have that do anything worthwhile. Like, you know what I
What?
mean? You could boof.
People
You could,
used to butt chug, remember? You
well, butt
don't remember
chugs,
that era?
that's all for you. Though.
But
I'm
you're
saying,
not distributing
Yeah,
that
you
booze
can't.
afterwards.
you can't come to a party and be like, I butt chugged a whole ton of liquor.
Line up.
You guys want me to barf on you?
This elevator only goes up.
5 tablespoons of bourbon in my ass.
But it's been
Who's
up there
trying to-
all day.
Who's trying to baby bird some gin?
I brought this from Canada.
I brought all
In my
these,
ass.
I brought all these straws that could be like a party bowl.
I'll lie on my tummy. Can't we just eat sushi off of that naked lady? Like, nope, you're drinking warm gin out of my ass because it burns.
We got a dining room table with a butt-sized hole in it, so you can just get
There's your album name. You got it. You
dining
got
room
it.
table with a
Butt-sized
butt-sized hole.
I've been stuck inside this butt-sized hole for weeks.
Holy cow.
Bootlegger is an excellent pick. Sean Jordan, time for your Primero pick, dude.
MTV VJ.
Oh, is that
Incredible.
not? Do they not
Oh,
have
that's
that
a great-
anymore?
They don't have VJs.
Downtown
Absolutely
Julie
not.
Brown. Matt
I don't
Yeah.
even think they have V anymore.
No.
No, I don't think. I mean, you can catch music if you go on like 90, like the Nostalgia channel or whatever. But there's no like Ricky Rackman, Carson Daly, Duff. Went hard right, by the way. Duff did.
Oh no.
Who was your
Duff did?
favorite?
I think so.
Who was your favorite VJ, Sean?
I like Ricky Rackman a lot. Headbangers Ball when I was a kid. Obviously, MTV Raps, Dr. Dre and Ed Lover were fantastic. Probably that, since as I'm saying it. Probably that.
What about Daisy Fuentes?
Oof,
Well, they had. I mean,
man.
they had like Adam Sandler back. Was he?
Wasn't
he a
Carmen
VJ, right?
Electra one?
Kinda. She was on Singled Out after
Adam
Jenny
Sand-
McCarthy. And then
Okay.
I think maybe D'd some V's. Or maybe jockeyed some videos, whatever. Yeah.
Dave
Dave
Holmes,
Holmes.
really nice
Dave-
writer.
Yeah, Dave Holmes.
Really
That's right.
nice guy.
podcaster. Yeah, I like Dave Holmes a lot.
Should have won that contest.
Should have
Boy,
won the contest.
Everyone at MTV was like, what did we do? Because they
What?
gave him a job anyways.
Yeah.
They
Jesse
were
was
like, this
such
guy's
a-
just so much better. Because the other guy was like, I'm like, freak on a leash by corn.
What just happened?
Jesse Camp, right?
Do you remember Jesse
guy?
Camp, the guy
Yeah.
who won Who
I
Wants
want
to Be a
VJ.
Yeah.
And Dave Holmes got second. And they're like, but Dave, though, first.
Yeah, we're gonna hire the guy who can do this.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, oh, hey, everybody. Like he talked like that, right? Am I
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah,
No,
he did.
you're right.
Okay.
I think it was like those earlier days of not like the first ever competition shows, because obviously there was Star Search and stuff. But I
Right.
feel like there were people that were like, when the public was given the phone number to call in, we were like, we're gonna do it like voting an unpopular kid prom king.
Yes,
Yeah.
like
I think
100%.
that's exactly what happened. And then
Whoa.
it was
Style
real. There was nobody behind the scenes was like doctoring the numbers. I think they really did let the public choose, and they're like, all right, that'll never happen again. But I don't know. I'm not splitting the atom here, but I always wanted to be a VJ who didn't. It would have been so fun.
I never aspired to it.
No, I never thought
You didn't think it'd
about
be
it.
fun?
I didn't even. It didn't occur to me as a thing you could do. I guess, but
Yeah,
neither did
not
like
for me.
stand-up comedy or anything.
Yeah, I
was
didn't either.
just
There
I
like-
weren't
was-
like a lot of little fat kids on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what you do. What do you do first? I guess you'd be a radio jockey, and then you're like a particularly
think.
good-looking one, and then you make the jump.
I just
They're like,
forget that they had to
You've
do
got a
stuff.
terrible face for radio.
Yeah, awful.
It's actually weird. A lot of people don't know this. You had to fist fight Carson Daly.
Yeah, you had to fight.
What
You
a
had to
That's
I think
beat
I
in,
got him.
beat out, beat
I got
off, dude.
Only
Well, you
Chris
know-
and Daly can touch me.
When two DJs get in a fight, they have a beat off. You know that.
That's great. I'll say this, dude.
What?
Kurt Loder.
Yeah,
I know
Kurt
he wasn't
Loder.
a VJ, but it's fun to say.
They all
he
kind
was,
of
he was
fall
a
into
real
that realm
journalist.
to me. They're all like MTV personalities.
Yeah, but you don't get Kurt Loder. Just so
No.
everyone,
Or
That
Tabitha
was-
Soren. I don't get either one of
you
them.
don't get Tabitha Soren, you don't get Kurt Loder.
I get Matt Pinfield though.
You do, and you get
Salutations.
Chris Connolly. I think was a VJ. Was he a
No,
VJ?
he was a reporter. He was like
Okay,
he was
man
like
on the street.
scene. Yep.
What about
I
what
was
about
picturing Chris O'Donnell.
what about
You do
Gideon
get Chris
Diego?
O'Donnell.
Gideon
Oh.
Diego was news. He was news, and him and that girl split it. Forget her name, but like Kennedy was a VJ. Martha Quinn was old VJ.
You want
There
to know
was-
what's something crazy? Me and Kurt Loder have the same birthday.
That's too crazy.
He's younger than I thought then.
He's 80.
He's 26.
That's stupid. Sorry.
No, I liked it. I
That's
liked
stupid.
it.
Yeah,
What do you guys
VJ.
think Gideon Diego's up to right now?
He's probably doing all right. He was hot. You
He's a
wanna talk about
TV
hot guy?
writer.
What's he
What's he
writing
writing for?
He
was
wrote
a-
on the Newsroom with Aaron Sorkin. And he wrote on Narcos, Quantico,
Wow. He's
Oh,
killing it.
The Mosquito Coast. Yeah, he's in scripted.
I watched all of Narcos.
Well, you saw some Gideon Diego handiwork.
Now
there.
you know something else about me. Seen it all.
Now we know two things about you, dude. Only God can touch you, and you've seen all on Narcos.
Only God can touch me now.
David, it's time for your first and your second pick, as it is a serpentine draft.
I like old jobs that are gone because they were completely bullshit.
Yeah.
Because that's so funny. It was just you were just lying.
Yep.
So I'm taking a phrenologist.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was just making. It was
Are we
just-
sure this hasn't made a comeback in the last 2 years?
What is it?
It's on the rise.
Phrenology's on the phrenology is well, David, it's your pick. I'll let you explain it.
It's like understanding people's intelligence or whatever from head mapping. So they would take like
Oh,
the
that
shape
thing.
of your head and shit.
Sure.
With like
And a great
calipers.
Roots album.
I was going to say that's how
Great
when I
Roots
learned about
album.
it, when the Roots album came out.
They have like you could find back in the day, and I bet they've since been reproduced as like a kitschy thing that you buy for someone who's really into like the music of Amanda Palmer. But like a phrenology head map kind of thing that has
Yeah.
like the different zones that like represent different like
So like if you got a bump back here, you're a sniper or something like what, you know.
I think
get
a
it.
bump back here would mean
You got a
there's some
sniper bump.
Yeah, you got Let me look. Like it would be like, no, you have like you're prone to mania or something like that. It would be like that kind of
And
thing.
it's like super racist, right?
That would be so rough to hear about
yeah.
yourself. Like you're prone to mania. I'm sorry, and you're like, well, I gotta go out in the world.
I thought it was pretty chill. Like, your skull says otherwise, dude.
No,
veneration, benevolence, sublimity. These are some turn of the century ass words.
those are all good album names, though, too.
Acquisitiveness, eventuality, locality, time, tune, crazy.
You sound
It's
like a
so
backpack
funny.
rapper.
Time, tune.
It's so funny too, because it's like, oh, you're so close. Like the brain is right on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what decides all these things.
Yeah.
It's not the hard part on the outside.
You almost got it.
Yeah.
But it's also funny to just have a career in a thing that's completely made up. Stand-up comedy.
No, we get paid.
Yeah, so did phrenologists.
Yeah.
People always ask about stand-up. I'm like, that ain't paying the bills.
I'm measuring skulls
yeah.
on the road.
Yeah.
I'm phrenologing. Every city I go, I'm phrenologing after the
I
show.
set up a
selling-
phrenology booth and I do
Selling
that from noon to
calipers
6.
after his merch.
We should set up a phrenologist table after
I
an
think this
AFC
is
live
a
show.
slippery slope.
I think you're pretty close to the bottom with the phrenology booth.
We're just over there telling knock knocks next to the phrenologist.
Telling people they got a violent head.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. You're an unreliable husband, bro.
That would be nobody in line can listen to what I say to this person.
Hey, yo.
I feel like if someone tried to do a phrenology booth at the gathering of the Juggalos, a bunch of clowns would go and like throw them off the premises
Yeah.
physically.
The sneakily progressive Juggalo community.
Yeah, that was pro Juggalo. I hope.
Yeah,
You
no, I
know
think that
that.
came off
Yeah.
pro Juggalo.
Whoop whoop, baby, family.
Prugalo. David, your second pick?
Progolo.
Prugalo
tied.
soldier.
Sounded like you were going to say hyena. Hyena's not a job anymore.
They're both members of the King's Court.
Darn it.
We're
We're really cracking into my list here, boys.
okay. I got it. I think I can get that one next or later. I'm gonna take Groom of the Stool.
What's cool with the stool?
It's when you wipe your butt really well.
I don't think
You're
you're
not far
off.
away.
Oh, is
You're
it a
not
butt
far
wiper?
away.
Is it
It's
a
the
butt
King's butt wiper.
No. I bet you that exists. They just don't get paid anymore. It's mandated. Like you have to do it.
Well, now you have to pay to do it. I think it might be a kink of some kind.
The King's butt wiper.
Yeah.
Groom of the stool. I wonder if it's recorded who the last
He didn't want that on paper.
king was the groom
Somebody
of the
wiped
stool.
Obama's ass, I bet.
You bet.
Who reading?
Wait. You bet.
Yeah. He was cool.
I think you started a riff that you're feeling a little bit weird about now.
Isaac, take that and make it the first thing I say.
Before even welcome hits.
Way before anybody said anything.
Have
about
him say
wiping
that
things
and then
butts.
30 minutes of silence and then the podcast start.
Why is this episode 3 hours long?
Secret track like an old CD.
Yeah, but at the
Oh
beginning.
my God.
No,
Yeah.
it's funny too. I was thinking about the Groom of the Stool because now you can only get paid to wipe common people's butts.
Yeah. All right, like a nurse in a hospital or something.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Oh, interesting.
The office again fell into abeyance with the accession of Queen Victoria. So the
She was like, I
Victorian
got
era,
it.
the late 1800s, right? Right? Something like that? Is
The
that
late
when
1800s? I
Victorian
don't know.
era was? My wife would.
Somebody else in your
Kill
house
me with
would
a
know.
fucking harpoon right now if I didn't know that. It was late 1800s. 1830 through the 1901. Though her husband, Prince Albert, and their son, Edward, Prince of Wales, so in the 1900s, in the 1800s, and then when Edward...
That's still kind of crazy.
1901 was the last time there was a groom of the stool on the English throne.
So Prince Albert's the big in the penis, right? The piercing. It's called a Prince Albert.
Yeah.
Why is that?
After this guy.
But why? What's the deal? Like why? Just because?
I
He
don't
was pierced and tatted up, man.
Sounds like
Dude.
Sean's starting a new podcast.
So if you really want to deep dive on that shit and other shit, bro, smash and like. Bro,
When you say smash it, like, what are you picturing people doing?
Hitting their computer with a hammer. They can't take any more good information. The last information they took in was that. Me doing a deep dive on why it's called that when you pierce your schwanz.
Hey, Schwanz, there you go. Groom of the
You're welcome.
Stone.
You're now welcome in Durag Yarmulke.
Yeah.
I can do a guest track?
Yeah, man.
First lady of the bedchamber, too. Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
First lady of the bedchamber.
So also these guys just got rid of the poop. Like,
Look,
because
I
they
mean-
pooped in boxes.
I don't mean to
Yeah.
get too political, but if we're talking about last politician who had someone else wiping their butt for them, there is like truly a non-zero chance it was Joe Biden.
Absolutely. There's a
Damn.
non-zero chance it's happening right now. It might,
Yeah,
it
that's
might
fair.
be, we might be in continuance
Just because he's into it.
just because he's into it.
Just 'cause
Also
he
eats a
wa-
lot of McDonald's. You might have to get somebody up there with a pressure washer.
And he wants everything that Biden had.
Yeah.
If he had one, I'm gonna have one.
Sir, it would be an honor to be your groom of the stool.
And he said, "No, JD Vance, I need you to vice president."
You get a vice president.
What about MTV Dance? VJ Vance? VJ Dance? DJ Vance and VJ Dance. Dude. And it's Charles Dance.
You catch him on the right night, he might be VJ Dance.
I don't think that's true.
Nah, yeah, it's probably not.
No, he sucks, dude.
I just like to stick up for the guy sometimes, you know.
You do love JD.
he's
You're a big JD
He's getting
Vance
a bad
guy.
rap. He's just some guy.
You're waiting for the Vance revolution.
Yeah.
We got to cut all these out because that's too good of a thing
It's
to
too
say.
good. There's
Yeah.
also a chance that LA is under martial law by the time this drops. It's gonna be fun to find out.
Man, I was gonna ask you guys about that after.
Sean Jordan. Time for your second pick.
Court jester? That's
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that capacity, I know that get into the weeds with some of these other ones too, where we'd be like, well, there's the modern day this, but like there's not like a court jester anymore.
I consider you a bit of a modern day court jester.
I'm a modern day free thinker, bro.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
fair.
You're a modern day philosopher.
I'm also a latter day free thinker.
Oh,
LDF.
dude, I'm afraid
No. What, you're afraid
In
of the dark? What does that have to
2015,
do with anything?
the town of Conway in North Wales appointed Russell Irwood as the official resident jester.
That's
And
a
is he
good
still
gig.
alive?
Yeah, he's still going, dude.
I have an offshoot of that they don't do anymore. Well, I'm not going to tell you now.
There's a
I'm probably
few
gonna
court
pick you.
jesters out there. There's Nigel Roeder in England. There's
Damn it, I was
Till.
hoping you wouldn't find out about Nigel. I knew
Till.
that too.
There's
All right.
few-
All right, how
Is
about
this
this?
like, is he a real court jester? Or is this like when a city is like, this dog's the mayor now?
No, I think he does. I think he does a lot of crowd work.
Oh, Pete
Huge
Cooper.
on TikTok.
This is dark, and I'm sorry, but a letter typer to men that have died in wars. So, like the women that would type the letters to the families of men who died in the war. That job.
I think that probably still exists. Just
On a
it doesn't happen
typewriter?
on
No
a
way.
typewriter.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Gladiator.
Typewriter.
I was going to let you have gesture and you're just emptying the clip.
Yeah, I didn't think
That one wasn't going to happen either, so Gladiator. And don't tell me Chuck Liddell is a gladiator.
Well, you tell Chuck Liddell he's not a gladiator.
I
I'm
will.
not,
He's
I'm not
right.
getting
He's
into-
all-
He's right here. He slept
He's
on
a
my futon.
warrior, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I know that
To the
much.
You mean-
death ass gladiator.
You
Like
mean it-
Maximus
to the-
Decimus Meridius.
Okay.
I will avenge I'll meet you in the afterlife. In this life or the next, I will have my vengeance. Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Now, people die in the ring still.
Yeah, but they're not gladiating.
They're
And people
gladiators.
are really bummed out when it happens now.
Yeah, they're sad. They are sad.
no one's throwing roses out there.
All right, Gladiator. Gladiator it is.
Yeah.
Did you
holy
see
buckets.
Gladiator too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
You didn't see it in theaters, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I was
So did
fine
I.
with
We
it.
talked
It's
about
just-
it.
It's a bit much
It's
at
bad.
the end when they're like, so Denzel the whole time is like this, not old man, but he's certainly not spry. And then at the end, he's fighting who's supposed to be the next Maximus, and they're even.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know about all that, but it was all right. I like
Was
the
it?
twins, the twin like emperors. They were creepy.
Yeah, they were good. Denzel was good.
Yeah,
Your
they were all
tone
good.
towards this movie is like when you meet your female friend's new boyfriend and you're like, I don't know about this guy. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it was fun. He was good.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally fine.
He's knocking him back with me. It was fine. It was all right.
He's cool.
You
Are
know?
you guys serious?
You can't talk about politics with him, but he's like, you can be around.
Yeah. He did bring up phrenology in kind of a contemporary sense.
Yeah, it's kind of a VJ Dance type.
I don't know what company his shirt was, but it wasn't one that I mess with. But yeah,
Gladiator, dude.
Gladiator.
Big Johnson Arenas. When they go down, he's Gladiator.
I had Big Johnson shirt Taylor on my.
That's coming back.
Taylor's hilarious.
Taylor.
Taylor still exists.
Let me
No,
They're
Big
not doing
Johnson.
Big Johnson
Oh,
shirts
Big
anymore.
Johnson. Okay, yeah.
You turn around at your wedding, it's just a big Johnson logo on the back of your suit, stitched in.
Bespoke.
I got to get my Big Johnson shirt back from the tailor before graduation.
I now pronounce me man.
That guy's Big Johnson shirt fits amazingly. Well,
Some dude hitting a home
Who's
run
your
with a
guy?
big dick.
I got a dude in the garment district.
If you had to bet yes or no, like over under on one big or 0.5 Big Johnson shirts that were ever professionally tailored,
Over.
you take the under, right?
I'd take the over.
I think I would take the over too,
I'd
man.
smash the over, dude. I'd smash and like the over.
And like it.
They're still making merch.
I could see someone now, that's because that's like what I don't even know if the word hipster is germane anymore, but that's what what's that podcast that's like the two dudes who talk about outfits? Throwing Fits.
Yeah.
Like a Throwing Fits guy would wear a fucking Big Johnson t-shirt, but maybe have it, I'd have it taken in because it was a little billowy on
Slim
there.
Johnson.
Yeah.
I had to crop top. I had to crop my Big Johnson shirt.
Right, exactly. I had to let it out. I had to have this Big Johnson t-shirt let out a little bit.
The Big Johnson football jersey so I can breathe.
There's a Big Johnson Marine shirt that just says the few, the proud, the huge.
They're getting lazy. That's lazy.
It's nothing. I mean, I laughed. Got me. Lazy can be funny.
There's no art to that. There was an art to Big Johnson shirts once upon a time. It used to
There
mean
really was.
something.
Right,
No, they
that
used
and
to
the co-ed naked shirts.
Yes.
They used to care.
I'm sure all the teachers thought that when I wore it in 7th grade. They're like, I mean, he's thinking, he's trying.
A really good teacher would have been turn a phrase. Okay.
Really good teacher doesn't take the summer off. I mean, we can talk about, are we drafting good teachers?
Turns the chair around like, you know who else had a nice turn of phrase of wordplay? William Shakespeare.
You know who else had liquor in the front?
Poker in the rear, liquor up front, dude.
I'll be okay. I'm not gonna say any more Big Johnson shirts that I found online on this episode.
Don't say something you know
But
you
this
don't
one
mean.
says Big Johnson Police Department. She'll be stunned when you whip it out.
Oh.
And it's a guy with a taser. Don't worry, Ian.
It should also say, and I don't approve of this in any measure, but it should say the thick blue line. I don't think this should exist at all, but if it's going to, it has to say the thick blue line.
It was
Or
right
what are we
there.
doing here?
Sure, yeah. Or she'll write the thick blue line and show her 5-0 face.
Blue veins matter.
Blue veins matter? Come on.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I wonder.
Yeah, I guess we could have
wonder-
gone thin blue vein too, Sean. That's right.
Vein.
Not- Here's an idea I am
Yucky.
50% joking about. How much do you think it would take to buy the Big Johnson brand?
I think it's not for sale. These colors don't run. They're
Yeah.
huge.
They're huge. The colors are huge. But
These colors don't run. They're huge. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Only time Big Johnson moves is when he blows a load. He moves back like 10 yards.
These colors bounce around in your gray sweatpants when you run.
These colors exist.
do you think we could get it for 20 grand?
No.
It's in
50.
the 7
dude,
figures.
I'm looking at the website is so big. They're clearly doing enough that
Everything's
I think
back.
you'd have to
20
come.
grand.
It's been so long in the wild.
Big
David and I were going to buy an El
Biggest-
Camino for 14 grand 2 weeks
Get
ago.
off the beaten path.
If we could have got Big Johnson for 6 grand more, we could be the Big Johnsons.
Okay, Big Johnson fishing boats. This one better have a little twist in it. It's easy to reel them in when you've got a Big Johnson. That's okay.
You could probably wear that at school, though.
No.
People don't know
That's
this.
what we're going for.
No.
People don't know this, but the third COVID vaccine was actually produced by Big Johnson and Big Johnson. So they got into pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, you'll feel a little prick, and then you'll see a big one.
Maybe they'll
another
just give it to
and
you.
then just inches.
We're not going to be able. This is going to be like a Too Short album where they bleep the swear words. We're not going to be able to say any of these things. These are
Okay, this is the last one. There's a Big Johnson shirt for $2 that says, "Tell your boobs to quit staring at my eyes." But the funny thing is,
That's
it's on
$2.
it's on the back of the shirt.
Where is it $2?
On the $2 section at the Big Johnson website.
They have a
Big Johnson
$2
website is
section.
a $2 section.
They have
Yeah.
a Tiny Johnson section of the Big Johnson website.
Cheap
It's called the
Johnson.
$2
Cheap
tees.
Cheap Johnson.
They're not nearly
Big
as good.
savings.
Stars and strippers since 1776. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there were strippers in 1776.
They say sex work is the oldest profession.
That's true.
This
That's
is a
true.
picture of Ronald Reagan, and it says, "Do you miss me yet?" Which I don't really.
You're on a
know
different
where-
website.
I don't even
Political.
really know where they're coming
Big
from.
Johnson got their hooks. Now you're at a mall kiosk.
Do you miss me
If
yet?
they had a Nancy Reagan themed one, that would maybe fit the brand a little bit more.
That'd be a little too funny for them.
Josh, time for your second pick.
Oh, good question. All right. I'm going in the David Bory school of jobs that don't exist because they were bullshit the whole time. I'm going alchemist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's
Question-
the turning
Go ahead.
base metal to gold? That was like what
Lead,
the
yeah,
basis
lead
of
into
it?
gold, right? That was a big one.
Now, there is the producer, The Alchemist.
Yeah, there's the rapper.
No, I'm sure.
Or, I thought he was a. I thought he
That's
was a
just
rapper.
his name. That's not his
Oh,
job.
okay, good.
You mean Dr. Dre is not an ornithologist?
It would be funny to be an alchemist and to call yourself hip hop producer.
They produce things. They make people hip and hop.
Funny
Yeah,
juice.
Alchemist. Yeah, they tried to turn lead into gold. That was a big one for them. Anything into gold really was the big goal of alchemy, I think.
Do you think if you were an alchemist, you would be like, man, I can't believe I keep getting funding for this bullshit? Or do you think you'd be constantly stressed like, none of this lead is gold yet? Shit.
I
Yeah,
think
we
it's
were
the
like, fuck,
second
fuck,
one,
fuck, fuck.
unfortunately. I think it's the second one, unfortunately.
How
That's
did
tough.
how did you test if something was gold back in the day? Like did gold not melt?
I think they bid it.
So just make something hard and Big
Gold is
Johnson
soft.
Alchemist, something hard and yellow or what, I don't know.
Big Johnson alchemist. Big Johnson phrenology. This isn't the only well-shaped head.
Both these heads got
We're
bumps
doing
on
their
them.
job for them.
I know, it sucks. We didn't even buy it.
I bet 4 professional comedy writers here and comedy tellers, we could knock out a year of work at the Big Johnson writers room
Oh,
in
dude.
like a day and a
This
half.
is why I was saying, should we buy the brand?
Put a bottle of Jameson
is
on the
the-
table and just riff.
The entire idea is like, do we buy it and then just fucking
Bring it
turn
back
into
to life.
It does
Yeah.
feel like an offshoot of what I'm already doing in my personal life.
Right.
It's just finding ways to say I have a big one.
Alchemist is a Arabic word, which makes sense. What do you think about alchemist? Yeah.
All the,
like,
I learned that in like high school Spanish, right? Those AL, like there's the Spanish words that have the AL are often from.
Alhambra.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
rug?
Alhambra.
So,
I don't know. I know it's the big like fort in Spain, the Alhambra. So
Make it funny. You better make it funny, asshole.
Spanish.
You're not
Spanish.
gonna smash it like.
Everyone's leaving, dude.
Spanish, Big Johnson. Once I give you the Barcelona, you'll.
Once I get you at the Barcelona, what'd you say?
Once I give you the Barcelona, oh Madrid,
Medellin?
that's
Grande.
They still speak Spanish.
Spanish. Oh, language. I was just going Spain.
Oh, I was thinking like
Specifically.
just Spanish.
It's actually Medellin.
Medellin. Philip.
What a pedestrian take, David.
And it's actually big Honson.
Be yours on.
I'll cut you off a piece of this jamon.
There you go.
Something.
Jamone.
Grande
Jamone?
jamon. Grande jamon.
The pick was alchemist. Yeah, they would make elixirs. It's still a big profession in
Elixir up front, poker in
Portland?
the rear.
Well, in Portland and role playing video games were the two I was going to say.
In Brooklyn, the big thing is there's like all these like independent pharmacies that call themselves apothecary.
Oh
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And
There's
everywhere we walk
t-shirt
by-
stores here that do that.
Yeah.
My wife, when I walk past, and she's like, apothecary. She gets so mad at it. It's great.
It is funny.
stop
Like
it.
you got a business loan for an apothecary?
Yeah.
That and like
Forsooth.
yeah, they had to go to a guy with a big room full of gold coins to get it.
And they used to be just fucking lead circles.
Yeah. I don't need you, man. The cologne places will like
Oh yeah.
alchemists or apothecaries now too. Stop it.
I don't like going into cologne stores. It's like I lose all sense of direction.
Yeah.
I can
You gotta
smell
bring in your
everything,
own
so
thing
I
to-
can smell nothing.
Yeah.
Like Pepe Le Pew just floating around from cologne to cologne. No
You got to
control.
bring in your own thing of coffee to sort of return to neutral with, dude.
That's how I try to find out if I have COVID. I just go into a cologne store if I can't smell
I do
anything.
think about being a cologne guy ever since. Did I tell you when I met that guy who? Oh man, this is like
Talking about Johnny Depp when you met him in the desert burying his jewelry?
I rented a car in South Carolina once, and the car rental guy was talking to me and Brian about. He was like, "That's me and my wife." He was like, "We don't drink, we don't party, we're just into scents. My collection worth $50,000 alone." It was crazy.
That's so good.
He smelled amazing. And then he was like, come here. And he took us to his car and he spritzed some shit and it did smell amazing. And then he was like, this should be X amount, but I can get it to you for like $100 an ounce.
Did you get it?
Hit me up next time you're in South Carolina. It was just like, I left that guy with so many, I was like, that's you and your wife. It was crazy.
Was he working at the car rental place, or was he just also getting a car there? Okay.
He was working at the car rental place.
Does he know cologne expires?
Maybe the
Not
cologne
his
you
shit,
buy.
dude.
Yeah,
Your
not
shit
his
expires. He's just putting cologne in cars that are getting rented out, hoping like Clive Davis could be like, "Oh no, I gotta sign this. I gotta sign this cologne."
Your understanding of the scent industry
Smells like
might
money
be
in
better
here.
than mine.
It
I
might
don't know.
be.
I
It's
actually
one or
don't
the
know how
other.
it works.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how it works.
Scent in just a bunch of celebrity farts, dude.
Gross, bro.
That
Time for
guy
my
sounds amazing.
celebrity farts?
I think about him a lot.
Time for my second and third picks. With my second pick, I'm going to take Longbowman.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another Big Johnson shirt.
A longbow man.
Is that like a Robin Hood bow? Or what's a longbowman?
So
That's like the ones that are the height of the man, right?
yeah, in England. So I may have talked to my wife about this going into this draft. But the longbowman was like a thing that the
talking about
British
seeing
had.
other people.
You're talking about opening up his pit. You know what I mean?
Doubles.
Longbowman do it on the hill.
Longbowman always hit the bullseye.
Longbowman always pull the string.
This is going to bleed out into your other job, Ian.
The French were like very obsessed with chivalry. So they were into knights and like, the cavalry and everything because it was like a noble way to do battle.
Mm-hmm.
And the Brits, when they figured out the longbowman, they were like, oh, we can, like the range of the longbow is so much longer than like regular bows or even crossbows. So like, it was like artillery basically. And they created this culture where after church, you would like, not everyone, but like you would go practice the longbow. And in France, they were like, you pick up a maiden's hanky and return it to her. And in England, they were like, we got to learn how to fucking fire this bow, dude. And it won the 100 Years' War for the British. The Battle of Agincourt, where the Brits were wildly outnumbered by the French, they won. And it basically like turned England into the dominant power in that region. Bro.
So what you
You got
talk to
it.
Dana about though?
Opening up the marriage.
Yeah, that's sick. I wonder how much a long
Pasta for dinner?
the French won the 100 Years' War overall, says Dana. Okay, never mind.
were there
Never
any
mind.
were there any bows that were like bigger than the people that were
Probably.
shooting them? That's pretty buck to think about.
Probably depends on
That's like a
depends
war,
on the man.
war cello, like
Yeah.
a war upright bass. I
Boom,
guess.
boom, 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 boom.
If somebody said they were bringing the war cello to my front door, I don't know.
It was
Longbowman Adderley is here.
Laura, get in the room. Lock the door.
the French lost
Talk about-
6,000 dudes to the British 600. That's crazy.
Yeah.
10-1. Longbowman, dude.
Was the 100 year? No, I'm thinking of a different war. So a lot of wars just named after the number of years.
You're thinking of
Yeah,
Vietnam.
yeah.
Which one is still in Saigon about? Was that the 100 Years' War or Vietnam? I think it was Vietnam.
Longbowman is my second pick. And with my third pick, I'm taking Marlboro Man.
Oh, shit.
See, there's where my mind wouldn't go last night. Was that stuff
From
That's
the
a
Duke
good
of
one.
Marlborough to the
Sure.
Marlboro Man.
The only one that never said Marlboro.
Marlboro. Marlboro?
I still don't know how to
Marlboro.
say it.
How do you say it? Marlboro?
It's supposed to be Marlboro, but everybody said Marbros, like Marbros.
Marlboro
That's
Man.
how I've heard it. Marlboros.
Yeah,
Marlboro.
but if you look at it, it's Marlboro for sure.
'Cause it's
And if
named
you
after
listen
the
to like,
Duke
Go
of
ahead.
Marlboro, dude.
go ahead.
Duke of Marlboro.
Dana just whispers, "It's the Duke of Marlboro." Just pointing a longbow at you right now.
She's
Yeah,
got
that's
Arthur holding it.
amazing, man. That is good. That is
Yeah.
really good. Was
Marlboro-
it a dude? It was a guy for a while,
There
right?
was
Like
a
there was the
succession of
Marlboro Man.
dudes. There
Okay.
were a few, yeah, but you would become the Marlboro Man.
But it's kind of like how there were a bunch of lassies in a row.
And
Yeah, I was
they
gonna
all
say-
have similar lifespans too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
You
in
don't last
Looper.
a long time in that job.
Yeah, like we'll pay you. You ain't gonna be around too long.
they were invented by a previous AFE mention, Leo Burnett, the guy who invented Tony the Tiger, also
yeah.
invented the Marlboro Man.
Tony the
Damn, what a
Tiger,
career.
Yeah, dude.
I know we
That
talked
guy's
about
a legend.
Yeah.
You
Joe
get two of
Camel was-
those?
Joe Kimmel is kind of a combination of both, right? He's almost an
Whoa.
animal that like smokes cigarettes and goes, "They're great."
Yeah.
But also gets laid.
Oh, he
Camel's
gets
And
like-
Joe Kimmel fucked.
Camel's
he
sitting
plays
around like,
fully
man, we
deflated.
want a mascot that won't die in a few years. What should we do? What should we do?
He was
Animated.
cool too. I
Cartoon
remember
Camel?
the billboards. He was
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, dude, he was wearing
I had
leather
that
jackets
Big
playing
Johnson-
pool.
Big Johnson Joe Camel shirt. More than two humps with this
That-
guy.
you remember the kids that showed up to school with like Camel Cash or Marlboro Miles gear?
Yeah,
like
that's
they're-
gnarly.
Or they go on a camping trip with their Marlboro tent. And you're like, so your stepdad smoked you that?
Yeah, this guy's ripping butts.
He's just like, Jason needs a tent. I gotta smoke 100 packs. Smoke 100 packs before May.
A bunch of them died, like 5 in a row from Marlboro.
Yeah,
5
there's
men
nothing
who
funny
appeared in
about it.
Marlboro-related advertisements. Oh yeah, sorry that we were on a fun riff, and then I brought that up. But died of smoking.
And I like how I had to
diseases.
say, listen, we don't think that's funny.
And then they. That's
I was
how-
already joking about it with the Lassie thing.
right. We started on it.
Yeah. Full circle.
Okay,
Cow-
here.
Sunrise, sunset.
They
I got
call them
one.
cowboy killers.
You think
Yeah.
if Paddington got married and then divorced, he would eat Marlboro Lade? Does that work? A little bit? It was a long
What?
walk I took you on
Oh,
I
because
would've
of
gone-
marmalade?
because of marmalade.
Yeah.
I would have just gone Paddington's favorite brand of cigarettes is Marlboro.
see?
Lid.
There you go.
Well, that's
cleaner.
why you're
Cleaner.
better. Mhm.
Cleaner.
No.
But this
why
is
you're
the
better-
room.
That's
This
why
is
you're
the
a better
room.
person.
You had a layer to it that mine didn't have, but mine got there a little
Yeah.
cleaner.
Josh
Appreciate
added
it.
that like it's good layer.
So you're saying you like it and you smash it.
What am I supposed to do all day? I got to look at my wife later.
Big Johnson Paddington's getting marmalade.
There we go.
The Big Jansen, Big Jansen, Big Johnson
Jansen.
Paddington collab, dude. That Big Johnson needs to get in the collab game.
That's what they do need.
They need to,
I need
yeah,
a Big Johnson Stan Smith.
or anime or something. Just this Adidas with 3 dick stripes on them.
You know what they say about guys who are size 13s? Big Johnson Stan Smith.
If you just hired the laziest writer, you know what they say about guys with big feet, big dicks, dude. Big nonsense.
man. But
Anywho.
seriously, that Big Johnson Kith collab does go crazy.
This is the stuff we could do if we bought it.
Timothy Chalamet was wearing Big Johnson at the Met Gala this year.
Don't
if
give me
we bought it, I bet we could get it on Chalamet.
I'm saying we could take it there. I'm emailing my agent.
I don't kith on the lips. I kith on the Johnson.
Give it a
We could have
kiss.
been t-shirt moguls in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give it a kiss. We're
Get Mike
doing
Tyson
it.
involved?
We're doing
Come
it
on.
for them. This sucks.
Josh, time for your third pick.
Third pick. Okay, I'm going Oracle.
Oh, fuck.
Of Delphi or otherwise.
Or otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any Oracle.
Any old Oracle will do.
But that seemed
That's
like
a-
a good gig.
That seemed nobody could. What's
Who's
anybody
going to tell you
say?
you're wrong?
No,
Another Oracle? Which get the fuck out of my space. It's my block,
That's
you know?
That's what called the Oracle at Delphi. It's not like one of the oracles at Delphi.
Right.
I didn't meet you at school. I was the school. It's my forest.
Frenzied women from whose lips the gods speak. Wow.
That's a cool job.
Yeah.
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 Sounds like my wife.
There were multiple oracles. There was the Oracle of Dodona. There was the Oracle of Sodona. No, that one.
Just a big
It's just a
wine
lady
club.
who sells topaz jewelry.
The Oracle
Like
of the
right
Dunkin'
now.
Donuts.
Dunkin' to Donuts. The Dunkin' to Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
They just tell you what your order's going to be before you say it, and then they still get it wrong.
You want a caramel frap?
I was just going to use the bathroom. Nah, you want.
There was also an Oracle of Dodima. Dodona. Let's call the whole thing off.
There we go.
There were hella oracles, dude.
How close do you think you could be to another oracle before people started to double the dipping, you know?
To territorial rights?
It's got to be at least
Territoricals.
at least three
oracles.
towns over. At least
Yeah.
Gotta
three
be.
towns
Yeah.
over. At least.
Far enough that you could lie about having a girlfriend there.
Could
Yes.
you imagine if another oracle moved in? Your town,
I mean,
dude?
She's
I
like,
don't-
my husband got a job in this town,
Yeah,
so I'm
say-
oracling here.
Sorry.
I don't live my life this way, but you have to kill that person.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in the oracle game, that's all you got.
Yeah, that's
If,
all.
if your frenzied lips are speaking the voice of the gods,
That's how I feed my seed.
Whoa.
David Boracle.
Boracle?
Now we're talking album titles.
You just,
the boracle?
They play at Boracle Arena.
you're at like a yard house in downtown Denver and you're like, you slide up on a girl. What's up? They call me the Boracle.
She doesn't know my last name.
You got two different colored martinis and you're like, which one do you want?
Hold on. I know which one you want.
It's Morpheus.
I'm Morpheus. I'd give you $100 to watch you do that to someone.
Two different colored martinis is so funny.
A red one and a blue one? I'll give you two options. You can drink the blue one right now and go back to your seat.
Or you can take the red one and see how deep the rabbit hole goes. And the bartender goes,
David in the bar wearing tiny sunglasses.
and then some dude pops up in the back like, Morpheus, don't hurt him.
Oh, man.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
that fucked me up.
Morpheus is a fun
That
thing
fucked
to
me
say.
oh, smash a like if you consider yourself a neighborhood Morpheus.
God damn it.
Oh, God.
Man.
You know what?
Whoa.
We're going to take another break. And we're back. Welcome back to All Fantasy, Everything Already in Progress. I am eating an apple. The worst thing to be eating during a podcast.
No, there's like
John's-
a couple other things.
I am drinking corn chowder with a boba straw.
Corn chowder with a
Yo.
boba straw. Cream corn. I still like cream corn.
No,
I know
that's
you
gross.
do. We
Looks
know
like
you do.
alien gruel. I don't.
We
I mean,
all
it's,
know you like cream
It's
corn,
all
dude.
right though. Just a warm bowl of cream corn on a hot
Warm
day
corn.
outside.
Warm corn. What do you like for your third pick? Warm corn.
Go on a hike and guillotine operator. That
I think
can't.
there's a lot of people trying to bring that back.
I'm sure there's a bunch of dudes in Portland that have guillotines and operate them, but they ain't getting paid in shillings or whatever they got. I don't know what a guillotine operator got paid in.
Yeah, you think that was a good gig?
Satisfaction of a
I think
job
it was
well
a
done.
certain kind of gig. Take pride in your work.
There are still executioners if you.
Well, I
if
looked
you-
up. I looked
right?
up because I was gonna pick firing squad. You know, somebody got somebody got firing squatted here like months ago in the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean,
in
that
Utah?
is absolutely
it?
bonkers to me. Might have been South Carolina. But anyway, at Myrtle Beach.
Spring break. Firing squad, by the way, is when 6 guys with tequila bottles come in. Like,
I was gonna say,
Big Johnson firing squad. Only one of us isn't shooting blanks. You're like, that's weird.
and just a bunch of dudes blowing loads, and you're like, well, I don't know if we can market that.
Dude,
Big Johnson after dark. That's
There
dude,
we
come
go.
on.
Big
BJAD.
Johnson.
It's in neon. This is BJAD.
Sorry to keep turning
Yeah.
everything into a Big Johnson shirt.
Yeah, sorry, but I feel like it's gonna happen for the next 15 at least.
A lot of men over 35 suffer from BJED.
It's actually quite common.
Yeah.
Was that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie? Where he played himself?
It happens to a lot of guys. It doesn't help me last night, does it? I don't care. I didn't care then. I don't care now.
Guy can't get it hard having sex in a Big Johnson t-shirt to like psych himself up.
It's just me and you, Johnson.
Listening to Sail by AWOL Nation in a Big Johnson t-shirt?
Like vomit on his Big Johnson t-shirt already. Mom spaghetti.
Got a big tapestry of a wolf howling at 2 moons.
Did you guys know that the guillotine was humane? It was considered
Well, yeah, 'cause
humane
it-
development.
Is there
Very
is
sharp.
it is it true?
Overhanging?
Over it was like a lot of times they would just cut someone's head off,
Right.
but it wouldn't take
With the broadsword.
the first
Well, right,
time.
because you
like,
got to hack at it. They do that in Game of Thrones, that one where he's got to do it like 4 times.
and hangings wouldn't always take too. So it was like the most. It was like, all right, we're still killing people, but this will your head's coming off, with a guillotine.
Is there any truth to like if your head gets cut off, you're still alive for seconds? But your head, like you can still see it?
I don't know.
We don't need
Sounds right.
We don't need a lit. But doesn't there be blood in your brain still a little bit, right? And you
Yeah. There's some electricity still zapping around.
because it's all up here. So like the rest of your body has nothing to do with your eyes processing what you see, does it? It's all
Why
in
don't
your
we-
brain and your
Why don't we
eyes.
find out, hombre?
Because I don't
I got-
want to, dude.
I got a mouthful of apple, dude. I'm
Because
sorry.
I don't-
I'm sorry to the listeners.
Here's where I tell you, I don't give a fuck, dude. Me and Eminem,
Damn, dude.
we don't care.
Now you still don't give a fuck?
No,
Yeah,
bro.
it's still.
I didn't. Yeah.
Two stills.
Why they call it window pane, man? I tried to give a fuck, but I can't.
David,
I'm
it's
sick
time for
and
your
tired
third
of being
fourth-
sick
it's
and
time
tired.
For your third and fourth pick,
I'm
David.
saying wrap it up over here, and I'm just can't stop. doing it.
Realize.
I'm taking a flatulist.
What is that?
A farter?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's exactly that.
a
It
fart.
was in the King's Court.
You got paid to fart.
Yeah, there was one, what's his name, where I found it was
Was
really
that so like the
funny.
king didn't have to fart and it would save time?
No, it was for notable historical flatulists include Roland the Farter, who was given a manor and land by King Henry II in exchange for his farting abilities.
I love that Warren Zevon song, dude.
When he was named that, he didn't have a lot of other fields he could have gotten into.
He was actually an archer. Yeah, it's just funny that people got paid to fart.
I bet that was like
Farty in the
actually a
USA.
pretty like tough gig. Because you had
Yeah,
to
because you
always
could
be
shit your
gassy.
pants.
Well, but
Yeah,
if you
and
shit your
moment.
pants, you got fired because that's a shitter. That's a whole different job.
That's union, and that's union.
Yeah, you can't. Whoa,
gotta-
he took a shit. Get him out of here.
Being a shitter is union, and if you do that,
shitting over here.
fucking fart is shitting. You got to be farting me. That's what they say.
A combined age of about 135 on this show. And the farters and the shitters. I like it.
I'm adding my 26 to that total. Sure.
I'm
Wait,
64.
wait,
No one-
fuck.
What?
Wait, guys, there's modern flatulists.
Whoa.
Oh, there are still like
no.
women who
It-
get paid to fart.
No,
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's true.
there's a guy named Mr. Methane.
Red. His Duroc Wild is one of my favorites.
Dude, he's a British flatulist right now. Fuck. Okay, sorry, guys.
That's all right.
I don't care.
Okay, I'll take Knocker Upper.
No.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
You guys
What
both had that on
You
your
guys
list?
all have this on your list?
Yeah.
A dude who gets other ladies pregnant?
No, it's a. No, that's just called a good guy. Help me out. I like how I was about to explain it to you, and like, oh wait, we're joking around for a lot of this.
Knocker upper before alarm clocks.
Yeah.
We'll go around town and say, hey, I need to be up at 8 a.m. Will you come knock on my window with a long stick?
I read.
Which
they
feels
would
like a guy
spit-
who was just walking around getting yelled at. Like,
Yeah.
you're
Wrong
higher
house.
at the alarm clock. I feel like you would just, they probably threw shit at him. It seemed like a tough gig.
Yeah.
Who wakes that guy up?
He's up.
Who knocks up the knocker upper? Who knocks the knocksman?
I was
Damn.
thinking about that. I wonder if he lives at the church when those bells
Oh.
go off or something.
Well, who was ringing those?
Yeah, maybe he's just got the most on point rooster in town.
Yeah.
There's not much else to say about it.
Now I'm eating a turkey stick.
You're just gonna eat something of the time of each thing we say.
Yeah.
Apple's pretty evergreen on that. They've been around for a while.
Yeah, they had apples for pretty much since Adam and Eve, I guess. Wow. Yeah, knocker uppers.
Yeah. Next, I'm going to do Town Crier.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would kind of like that now.
You'd be great.
It would be.
And like, I don't want to watch the news every day, but I go on down to the corner, I hear a couple things. Okay, I'm out. That seems like a good, it doesn't seem like it seems like it could still work.
It's a real antidote to that 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the bias. You know what I mean? It's just,
That's right.
It's just Craig.
Yeah.
It's
He's
just
a
Craig
libertarian.
thing.
We
Yeah,
all know
where
that.
did he hear it? You know,
So
You just
it's
making
about
it
the
up?
stories Craig's not reporting.
They
Yeah.
would yell, oye, oye, oye. All right, great.
Like Santana himself.
Oye, como va? Or they would yell, orale.
Oh, that means
Uh,
word, right?
Let's
Orale
go.
means, I think, listen.
Listen.
Yeah.
Orale means let's go.
I thought it
No.
was like word essentially. And
No,
it's
orale
like,
means listen, I think.
Like Orale Vato?
yeah.
Orale,
I thought it
right?
meant like it's like the slang term for word in Spanish. Like maybe it evolved a little bit. Am I an asshole? I thought I
think
really.
Well, if it's
Josh goes, yeah, I think you are.
No. I think it's a different spelling.
It
Okay.
means like okay.
Common inverse. Yeah, I always thought about it as like, let's go.
Orale.
Orale.
Right.
That's a
Like-
Beck album.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of Beck.
Anyway, whatever, man. Town Crier is
Town Crier.
Crier's
Excellent pick. You may be, as a listener, noticing we have a heart out that we're now developing.
We
towards.
also blew the load with that Morpheus situation.
You really
I
did.
My God.
haven't laughed that hard in a while. Actually, it was
Big
like 2
Johnson
weeks ago.
podcasters always have a heart out.
let's go. It does feel like this is naturally where it's developing.
Come on. Took us 9 years, but we got there.
To get to Big Johnson podcasters, I accidentally
Big
closed the
Johnson
doc too.
podcasting.
God damn,
There
okay,
are
there it is.
people young enough that they're listening to this and they're like, "What are they talking about?"
Well, now they have a big have a Big Johnson T-shirt on the way in the mail. If they didn't know about this, if they haven't been inured to its appeal, Sean, your fourth pick.
A military battlefield drummer.
Nice.
Like the
Yeah.
little drummer boy.
That's
Or
a
the-
great
Seems like
pick.
a thankless job.
What a rough one. I mean, and I don't know. Because you were at the front, right? Was there any sort
don't
of
know.
gentlemanly conduct where they were like, the Vicetta would let the drummer boy get out of the way and then it
What's a
seems
Vicetta?
like that's the thing you form, right? Where they all shot, where they got in a line and like, right? Is that a Vicetta?
I thought it
I
was
don't
like an
know.
Italian pork product.
Yeah.
I
I'm
thought it
eating
was.
Vicetta during this pick.
Maybe I'm wrong.
You might be right.
No, you are. I don't know anything about
Yeah,
it.
I
it
could be
sounds
wrong.
right.
I could be right. It's a song. I'm losing it. Anyway, the drummer boy. I always wonder. It feels like they let him get out of the way, and then
I don't think they were aiming at the drummer boy.
Yeah. So
He wasn't posing the
So
greatest
maybe-
threat, certainly.
maybe like the best job in that scenario, because you're like, I
Well,
drum.
it seems like it would be hard because you're a boy. at
Yeah.
war.
Just a boy. Now,
Oh,
if that
were they-
drummer boy was Gene Krupa,
Wait, is he a jazz?
Jazz reference.
guy? Yeah,
jazz
sure.
reference.
Mhm.
Josh, time for your fourth pick.
This one did come from my wife Maris. She proposed it. I thought it was a terrific idea. Staying with music, silent film piano accompanist.
Oh, that's so good.
Ooh.
Well, there we go.
I bet that was a good gig.
I bet it was fun.
I bet. That
I
was
bet that still happens every now and then, but I don't think that guy's getting paid for it. I think that's very much a community event. That's what he's
He's doing
doing.
it for the love of the game for
He
sure.
works for the Historical Film Society and just also plays piano.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw John
Yeah.
Bryan play piano at the silent movie theater, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
John Bryan,
Um,
good one.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell
Excellent pick. And just in the interest of time, I'm going to take Seattle Supersonic.
Really sticking a thumb in the eye of Oklahoma City right now.
It's a hopeful one.
Hilarious.
It's a hopeful one because I think it's going to come back soon, but it is no
You're-
longer a profession that exists.
You're just picking Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, which just doesn't exist. Or as Katie Nolan, Kevin Durpants. Katie Nolan classic. And then with my last one, I am going to take Explorer.
Yeah, there's not a lot left to.
That's not a job anymore.
I was
Yeah.
on the verge of Treasure Hunter, and Explorer, I feel
Yeah.
like is encompasses that and more.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because people might treasure hunt still, maybe. But I don't think anyone's like, yeah, I'm paid by the government to explore. Like, I don't know who would pay you to explore. Nobody, other than like the History Channel.
Right.
It's just Dora doing that work now.
That's it. And she's gratis.
That's right.
That's on the house.
Well, she has family money.
Yeah,
She does all that. She does
Doesn't
all the
need it.
explorers.
Her
before.
last name is Charlemagne. A lot of people don't know that.
Her, the God. They're everywhere, dude. Josh, your final pick.
Final pick. I am gonna go barber / doctor.
Ha! Like Sweeney Todd.
Like a blood, like a
Get
blood
out of the
letter.
barber doctor real quick.
Yeah, that used to be one position. Which
I tell you what,
that's-
if it still was, that would save me a lot of time because I see
Really?
one a lot more often than I see the other.
Although, do you want to be
But
making
you-
haircut
I don't think
decisions?
you need to know your doctor's opinions that much, though.
That's true. And I don't want my barber to see my penis.
Where does your doctor stand on the MJ LeBron debate?
Everyone else in the doctor shop is like, yo.
Wait, did you say I don't want my doctor to see my penis?
Yeah, I said I don't want my barber to see my penis.
Oh, okay.
I heard
That's,
doctor. Oh wait,
that's
okay.
probably
Well, I
the
said
worst
doctor
place.
shop. Yeah.
That's probably the worst place I could imagine to take
It's
out.
funnier. Imagine you take your dick out of the barber
the
shop.
barber. Like,
No, that's
you
what
don't-
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should do movies like medieval barbershop with Cedric the Entertainer called Doctor Shop, where he's also a doctor.
I would watch it. That'd be
You'll see
great.
it. Like a Black Knight barbershop sort of mashup? Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
like that.
God, we're full of ideas today.
John, your final pick.
Blood letter?
Well, we just kind of.
Is that what we just kind of did?
touched
How
on
about a
that.
bowling pin setter upper?
That's good.
Yeah.
The pin, all right, tight. Hey, I made it out. That was my last pick, right?
You did it, yeah.
You should see some of the bullshit on here. At tight.
Let's hear it in a second. David, your final pick?
Sam Goody.
There you go.
Just like seems like at a time it was
Yeah.
maybe literally the coolest job you could have.
Yeah.
I think
Blockbuster
they're
video
gonna.
too.
I think
Coward.
they're coming back. I think the CD shops are gonna come back, like video stores are coming back a little bit. I
The
think
CD,
it's,
the vintage CD game,
Yeah.
like what vinyl still is, but like definitely used to be like 10 years ago.
but
or
it's
20 years
happening
ago,
with
is, like,
DVDs and CDs now.
huge. Physical
Uh-huh.
media is big.
I have
That's
a
so
cousin
funny.
who ripped all his Blu-rays, sold the hard copies, and has a VHS collection at his
Whoa.
house.
Whoa.
That
Yeah.
the term.
I just
rip,
went to my mom's house and she had like 8 CDs and I was like, what?
New one?
Do you have a CD player? And she's like, no. And I was like, all right.
Laura's got CDs in the whip. I told you
CD's nuts.
in the whip.
There we go. There we go.
Faye Johnson, physical media.
This D will give you VDs.
My God.
We got to market to everybody.
Isaac, do you have a pick?
Yeah, I'm gonna go because my name is Isaac and my nickname is Ice. I'll have to
You're
go
attractive.
the Iceman.
Oh,
Great.
Oh, yeah.
that mob
yeah.
enforcer?
Yeah,
Wait, who are we
yeah.
talking about?
I know what you're talking
the
about too.
Iceman.
Cutting,
the
like
lid of
cutting
the
ice
Iceman.
and then
Bring-
bringing
yeah.
it, delivering it to places.
And
I thought
then
you were
you
talking
come
about
as-
that
come
guy
as
that-
door to door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully soon, with AI advances, it'll be podcast producer.
Wow.
Hopefully.
Isaac, walk over to his
Oh.
house. Walk over to his house and make him say it to
Bring
your
that
face.
ice over there.
Isaac,
All right,
do you
you're
have
gonna be
a
there in 35 minutes because I can walk over.
No, we'll be at the farmer's market.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
You want to meet us there? That's fine.
That would be a lovely Sunday.
It'd be lovely. It'd be a
Yeah.
lovely time. We're good friends. To recap, I went first. I took switchboard operator, longbowman, Marlboro man, Seattle Supersonic, and explorer. Josh took bootlegger, alchemist, oracle, silent film piano accompanist, and barber/doctor. Sean went third. He took MTV VJ gladiator, guillotine operator, battlefield drummer, and bowling pin setter upper. David went last. He took phrenologist, groom of the stool, window knocker, town crier, and Sam Goody. Sean, what did you have on your list?
I had outlaw. I had lamplighter, cavalryman. That's still got to exist though. Speakeasy proprietor, lector, the read all about it guy.
What's a lector?
I saw that one. It's where you they would read books to factory workers like over a loudspeaker.
Oh,
Or the
interesting.
newspaper. Or the newspaper.
Like
What about like old
podcasting.
school weed dealer? I know there's still weed, but like old school, go to the crib weed dealer.
People are
Yeah,
still
it's
doing
illegal places still.
that. A lot of places.
That's what, because like South Dakota, people still got to do that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm happy. Oh, time card maker, like when you punch your time card. The people
Oh,
that
there
make
you
those
go.
time cards, that would have been all right.
There's probably a fucking apothecary near Josh's house that has one of those that they have to use.
time cards. Yeah.
Well, we want to hear yours. Hit us up at allfantasypodcast@gmail.com. Smooth. Shout out to everyone on the AFE Patreon, where we have live episodes, the live episodes from New Orleans, bonus episodes, auction drafts, mailbag episodes, this or that episode, which is a new thing we're doing, which is a lot of fun.
It is.
And of course, Isaac's Tasteful Nudes. Those are still on there. Those are
Looking
still
good,
on there.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
hot.
Yeah, you've been out in the sun, huh?
You really are
Oh
hot.
yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have like a
Gentlemen.
beautiful
Handsome gentleman.
gold glow.
The rest of you are butt ugly. Isaac's hot as
Yeah.
hell.
You're a butt ugly lunatic. Shout out to everyone on the AFE subreddit, the AFE Shaslackity. Shout out to super producer Isaac on the ones and twos. Shout out to St. Sue Carmel. Shout out to Frankie Ocean. Shout out to Haji B. Shout out to Sid the Dude. And more important than all of that, tune in again next week to another brand new episode of All Fantasy Everything.
Shaklackety.
That was a Headgum podcast.